Alright, welcome to the TNT Grand Tournament Player Pairings video. We're going to go over some of the details of the tournament, some of the awards, all the pairings, their army lists, and give our impressions of those lists. And the people that will be doing that today, of course, is me, Tim Smith, the Herder,
Keith Soft Hand Randalls,
Todd McMahon Perkins.
And you might recognize us. We make the GT circuit around the southeast. So we'll give you our professional opinions of this event and the players in it and the Army lists. Let's go ahead and take a look at some parental suggestions. To start off, please understand, 3 grown men are sitting around talking about war games. There may be cursing and foul language. We'll try to keep it to a minimum.
You will.
Well, I will. And fair warning, some of you did not submit nicknames or player photos.
What?
I know. Can't even get into those are theme points right there.
Simple instructions, people. Simple instructions.
So what we'll be doing, or what we have done, is selected our own nicknames based off what we know about you or what we don't know about you, and then Googled things that we felt were appropriate for your team, for your self-photo.
But they might not be appropriate for all audiences. We'll throw that out there.
Some of them may not be. So small children, turn your eyes away. Feel free to continue to listen. And as you know, TNT is Todd's Nashville Tournament, and since he is here with us today, we're going to have him go over, his impressions, what he wanted to do at this event. Todd?
Well, I just want Nashville to have a good tournament. There's none really downtown Nashville. This is the closest we're going to get. So why not start it off this year, and we'll do it Kings of War and a couple other little tournaments.
Now, this is the same venue the Masters was held at, correct?
It is the same building, so people that came to the Masters knows where it is. So, and they was impressed, as they said.
So what's the theme of TNT, and why did we choose that theme? You choose that theme, I should say.
It's wrestling, long-time wrestling fan. So,
back in the days, you chasing a pig around the yard.
Yeah, I was introduced to it when my brother got out of the Navy when I was like 12. So, saw my first match then, Randy Savage, Jerry Lawler, been hooked ever since. So,
and it seems to have struck a chord with our southeastern players. We're excited about the trash talking going on.
So is it wrestling or is it wrestling in the southeast? That's the question.
Well, you two are from here. I'm barely a southerner, so I would say wrestling. But
I like wrestling.
Wrestling's good. So,
but wrestling is something you do with your friends. Wrestling, that's a profession.
Wrestling is something you do with your friends. Everybody else wrestles.
All right, some special rules we want to go over with TNT to keep in mind. One, we have the manager. It's a free model every army gets, basically an additional hero. He has a couple special rules. The slap, it's his combat attack. What's good a manager if he can't walk around and knock your opponent right out with a good hand slap?
A good bitch slap will set you in line quick.
And it's sneaky. It hits on a 5+, but it can hit pretty hard with a blast of D3 + 3.
So it's pretty tough. His ranged attack is the salt bag. Those pesky flyers, big thunderous units. It hits on a 4+, doesn't do any damage, but it causes them to be disordered.
Salt and I will do it. It'll drop you.
Todd knows.
Yes.
And finally, his special ability is managerial support. Basically, one unit on the table counts as being inspired. So you got that unit charging out there on its own, about to be destroyed by a bunch of your opponent's units. This is a way to give him inspiring without risking one of your heroes. The perk to this is it's no line of sight required. Any unit on the table, he can use it even if he marched, if he's in combat, or shot another attack. So it's very versatile.
Just has to be on the table.
Just on the table.
Now, we had a question about this at some point. Is it allied units can be inspired by your manager as well or not? I don't know if that's clear.
The rules in the packet say any non-allied friendly unit, I believe. So that's what we'll be going with. So it's only your army's units.
Okay.
And finally, on rolls of double ones, if you roll boxcars, your unit's wavered, even if you're not even close to nerf check. So we're going the other direction with that. You roll double ones on a nerf roll, that unit's good to go.
It's the Hulk Hogan thing. You're down, you're out, you hit, double ones, there goes the finger.
Yep.
So
you don't lose thunderous charge. You can fly if you're a flyer. You can shoot if you're a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a minor difference. Could be a major difference for some games here at TNT.
All right, starting with some of our bigger awards. First award, we have Best Overall. This will go off of your combined battle score, paint, and sports score. And of course, being wrestling themed, no wrestling event is complete without a belt. And that is so far the nicest belt we've had.
It is. It's the biggest belt we had. Build Your Belt has been very nice with us. So
seeing this actually kind of aggravates me a little bit. I received one of the first.
It's like the flashback belt.
It's the flashback. I received one of the first.
The first.
Todd tournament related wrestling belts. And looking at this belt, I have like Nintendo style pictures.
Is it belt envy?
It's belt envy. I have belt envy. I can't even get it around my waist, and I'm not a big person.
And it's not even just envious of this belt. The belt for the person who finishes in the exact middle of this tournament has a nicer belt.
It's still better than the belt I have.
You're the only one that has a Thunder Chicken on your belt.
I have a green Thunder Chicken. I will be wearing it at the tournament, so you can come and see just how pathetic this belt looks.
And touch your belt.
And touch my belt.
And we encourage anyone who's won belts in the past. There's what, 3 winners?
I think Robert said he's going to wear his.
Yeah.
We got Robert, Paul, and I think Daniel Furbus.
Oh yeah.
So there'll be 2 belts. Next, Best General, King of the Ring. Basically straight battle score. You go out, you dominate the missions, the bonus points, kill your enemy. That's your goal in life. This award is for you.
And that crown is metal.
Yeah, that sucker's heavy.
Yeah.
Todd's hand is not included in the award.
Not for that award. There is an award coming. You might be able to get my hand.
Next, the International Champion. Referenced this a little earlier. This is for the guy who finishes in the exact middle. And we approach this tournament just like any wrestling event. You got your heavyweights, your lightweights, the guys at the top and the guys at the bottom. But that doesn't mean they're not good players. And this award recognizes that the guy in the exact middle of the pack. So at this tournament, that'd be what, 20th? We have 40 players right now?
Well, technically it would be 20 and a half. So we have to determine whether 21st or 20th.
Well, we need one more player to sign up so we can
have an exact
avoid this issue.
Eliminate that half.
But this will be for the guy in the exact middle. You know, he's won a few games, lost a few games, got a good painted army.
Sportsmanship is the tiebreaker.
Sportsmanship is the tiebreaker in this one. You know, because I have always, especially in fantasy, would finish in the middle of the pack because you have to read all those damn books. If you wasn't on top of it, it would hurt you in that game.
You get surprised, yeah.
And so this award, it's kind of close to home, But then I'm running it, so then I don't get it, so then I still lose out again. So, but I've always been partial to the man in the middle.
And this is something you've got started, and the Southeast has really run with on recognizing.
Yeah, other tournaments have picked it up and stuff. So I think it helps build the community. It gives people something to play for. And there was rumor talking last year that some fellow was just sitting halfway point, 1 or 2 spots above, tanked his game, try to get it.
Try to go for it.
Yeah, so you never know.
That has a new layer of strategy.
It does.
How can I lose this game to get that middle award?
Yeah, seriously, would you rather be, I'm 22nd, or I got the belt?
Yeah.
That's true. That'd suck to be one place higher and then miss out on a nice award.
I would tell how a game lasted longer than it might actually a game played.
Now, someone who's going to be at this tournament that has a good shot at this, Mr. Brian Tucker. He's won several Middle of the Man awards.
Yes.
And this is a good one for him to go for. Probably his best shot at a belt. Sorry, Brian.
But, the returning champion of the past 2 years that received this, Joe Smith from Alabama, hasn't reported in, so we might have a new champion.
The throne's open. It's vacant at the moment. And then next up, another way to win some belts is the Tag Team Champions. If you were able to get a friend to come with you, or you begged and pleaded someone on the internet to join your team, this award will go to the 2 players who partnered up prior to the event that have the most kill points. So if you're someone who likes to come to these events and just wreck face, who cares about objectives, who cares about winning or loss, you just want to table your opponent, this is the award for you, and hopefully you have a friend with a like mind.
And it's not difference in kill points. It's literally you killed 1,800, they killed all of you, but you killed 1,800 points.
Right, not a difference. It's how much you killed plus how much your partner killed over all the games.
Let's just add them up and let's go.
Yep.
Simple.
And
easy peasy.
I don't know if we talked about this, but if there are people who are currently untag teamed, if they want to find a partner before the tournament starts.
Yep, we have several.
Feel free to report. Find someone who doesn't have a tag team partner. Report it to Todd, and you'll get marked up as tag team.
And I like this because it adds a little variety. because it's another way. If you're shooting for the top spot, going out and killing your opponent all out might not be the best strategy to get some battle points. So this is a way to keep people who are shooting for top high place finishes from taking this award, where someone at the bottom may lose every game, but they kill 1,800 points to their opponent every game. This is an award they can win. So you don't have to be at the top to win this award.
True.
Next, the Four Horsemen. You guys might have recognized that on your player packs, those who filled them out. It's basically similar to like a club award. We would assume most people played with their club members.
You play with your club members.
I do play with my club members, but we're all close.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. And this award will be based off battle points, not sports, not paint, just battle points. And the 4 players who are, again, pre-teamed before the event with the highest total battle points win this award. And we got some nice little wrestling figures for them. Todd did them up real good.
Some super teams have been created based on this award.
They have, and we'll address this a little bit later
when we get to our pairings.
When we get to the pairings. But yeah, I mean, I had to search for this Four Horsemen set, and you can buy them individually. But
he ruined the value of them by taking out the box.
I actually did. The fellow was upset. He's like, "What are you going to do?" I'm going to open them up, put them on a stand. And his eyes like, "No."
You had to travel the whole southeast to get these. You picked some up in Georgia?
I picked those up in Georgia, yeah. Apparently, wrestling is good.
Wrestling's real good in Georgia.
As big in Georgia as it is in Tennessee.
Just talk to Drew Gaddy. He'll tell you, wrestling's nice.
Yeah.
And then some other awards we've got. Again, we don't want all the awards to go to people at the top, so we have a Best Army Award. And
Best Army is in best of
your particular race. So if there are 2 herd players, which we have, whoever of those 2 herd players gets the most battle points, or we're going off the overall score, so sports and paint, wins that award. And currently we have 18 of the 22 armies for Kings of War. You may recognize there's only 21 in the rule book. We lumped all the historical together as one army set because we do have a Mongol player. And we have some great awards for those framed and ready to go. Our most popular army at this event right now is going to be Undead with 5 players. And Dwarfs with 4, following up next. And then, of course, if you're the oldest man here, we've got the Old Fogey Award, Best Sports, we've got a Best Painted, Player's Choice, and just a ton of other stuff to hand out as awards and prizes.
If you've been paying any attention to the TNT Facebook page and/or Tim reposting the TNT Facebook page
on Instagram now.
On Instagram now. There is pictures of all the awards. They all look really great. Tim and Todd have done a great job making sure people who win fun things walk away with some nice show pieces.
And a lot of these armies, again, back to the Best Army, it's not going to be easy. Most of the armies have 1 or 2 or 3 players playing them. Now, something we've noticed about pairing videos is you don't know what the first mission is going to be. So we're going to tell you the first mission.
Sorry, we didn't know the name of the mission.
It's going to be Ransack. That way, when we go over the comparisons of armies, we can actually give you a good, honest opinion of who we think is going to win instead of, depends on the mission. He might win 3 of them or he might win the other 3. We don't know yet.
Right.
So Ransack, basic premise, it's based off pillage, D3, 4 tokens across the table. The difference would be each token, instead of being worth 1 point, is worth D3 points. TNT special rule, you don't know what the token's worth until you actually control it. So you might luck out, get some high point tokens early, or you may not, and get low point tokens. And of course the bonus points in this mission are to keep your manager alive, and then for your manager to slap or salt bag your opponent's manager. You get some minus points if your manager hides on your side of the table. He's got to go out there and do work. He can't just hide back. And then finally, if your manager does a little too much work and he ends up dead, you get some points for that. No one likes a dead manager.
You got to be in it to win it, but you got to be alive at the end.
You got to be smart.
Yeah.
You got more matches to get to.
And the rest of the scenarios, we've listed 7 scenarios in the tournament pack. For the remainder of the turns, the scenarios will be determined randomly, and obviously 1 scenario won't be used.
Correct. And that way the last game, you can't sit there with your buddies on lunch break, try to plan it out. You got a 50-50 shot what the last game may be.
And then before each round, we'll pick it, go through it, let everybody know. And then it'll be in the pack as well, so we'll go from there.
All right, well, let's get right into it. We're going to go over the pairings and the matchups. Starting with our favorites, working our way down the list. And our first matchup will be on table 20. And that'll be Casey Miller versus Chris Hutchins. Chris Hutchins looks to be quite the power gamer, that majestic pose over that army and battlefield. And Casey Miller is middle-aged Batman.
Who forgot to give us a picture, so...
He did forget to give us a picture.
I'm digging the kitty in Chris's picture, out there in the middle of the table. The little dry brush kitty.
Yeah.
Little dragon kitty, I like it, yeah. It's a pretty impressive table. My question on Casey is, if you're not going to send us a picture, and you're going to assume your nickname, which we'll get to in a second, this is the kind of stuff you can expect from us, and the kind of things you can expect through us the rest of this video as we go over some of the other pairings.
Did we bring up the disclaimer at the first?
We did.
Okay.
Be careful. I mean, most of the pictures are a little bit appropriate, and then most are some more or less inappropriate. But basically what we're going to do is Keith will handle the list, Todd will handle the other list, and then we'll give you our opinions based on the mission and who we think will win.
So Casey, the Dark Knight Miller, is bringing undead. He has 3 regiments of mummies, a legion of zombies with the brew of sharpness, which is often seen in a kind of a scary unit, a regiment of zombie trolls, a regiment of Soul Reaver cavalry with Macwar's Potion of the Caterpillar. He has 3 Balefire catapults, which is something you don't see often, a Lich King with Banechant, Lightning Bolt, Heal, the Dark Lord's Onyx Ring, and mounted on a horse. He has a Necromancer mounted on a horse with Banechant, and then he has, rounding it off, Morgoth the Faceless. He's got the Touch of Darkness upgrade, which I presume goes on the Legion of Zombies.
Okay, the next up is Christopher Datface Hutchison. He's playing orcs. Got 1 regiment of Morax, 2 hordes of Great Axe, 2 hordes of Orklings, 1 horde of Trolls, 2 regiments of Gore Riders, 1 Crudger on a Slasher, sorry. Blesser of the Blessing of the Gods, a Flaggard with a Banner of Griffin, 3 God Speakers with each with Heal 2, 1 is mounted, then a War Drum. And that's his list.
So what are you guys' impressions of these 2 lists? Let's start with the undead list with Casey.
Well, it's unique. You don't see a lot of undead lists with that kind of artillery firepower. Obviously, the only artillery piece they have is the Balefire catapult. But you know, I play a very shooty list, so this speaks to me in a sense. Undead armies sometimes have problems making their opponents come to them, and here, if these catapults are hitting, you almost have no choice but to come to him.
Yeah, if he's lucky turn 1 and hits with 2 or even all 3 of those,
The unit's gone.
that unit's gone, but it also is going to put a little bit of fear in your opponent. Like, this guy might be on fire. I can't sit here and take that pounding. If he keeps going...
Yeah, with 3 of them, odds are you should hit 1 around.
Yep.
But if you hit 2 or 3, that's some damage.
That's a hard day.
And they're vicious, so they're rerolling 1s to wound. Piercing 2.
Right.
Ultimately it's only 300 points. So if they do nothing except control the board a little bit,
force your opponent to move, make them not stand.
it's really interesting to see that in an undead list.
Also, mummies. Not a lot we see around the southeast in undead lists.
Well, usually people have 1 unit of mummies as sort of an anchor.
But 3?
Or 2. Three's interesting.
How about Chris's list, the orcs? What stands out to you guys?
The 3 with a heal.
3 heal?
No, actually it'd be 6 heal total. He's got...
Well, and plus
an extra heal for every horde
horde
within 6 inches.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of heal.
Potentially, yeah.
So, I mean, you don't see that. So, I mean, they can withstand the catapults, maybe.
Maybe.
So he does have some staying power with the orcs.
He's really slow. I mean, he's got the slasher, but he's
got 2 units of Gore Riders.
Oh, I missed that.
But I mean, got the slasher, which is good. Then he has the War Drum and the Banner Griffin. So his nerve is deceiving because it's
if you're not paying attention.
+2 right there, +3. So
if you're doing your math on, am I going to be able to waver them on this charge or disorder them or what have you, that can throw your calculation off.
Yeah.
You have a unit that usually can go in there and kill that unit of Morax. All of a sudden, they might not be able to do that extra 1 or 2 wounds you need. All right, well, with this mission in mind, again, pillage, so you're going to have to move. You can't stand still. Well, who do you think is going to take this one?
I'm going to go with the orcs. I think he times everything right. He sets up his charges. I think orcs will take it.
Yeah, I think the two lists are matched up fairly well. I don't know either of these players. I think the shambling will be helpful. It'll allow you to get some sneaky. If you play it right, it can allow you to get some sneaky flank charges. But yeah, there's a lot of bodies on that orc side of the table coming at you. If you racks them and charge and push them across the table, it could get pretty ugly. But I've run into Morgoth more times than I like to admit, and he's always a pain. So I think I'm gonna go with the undead.
Well, I'll go with the tiebreaker then. I'm going to go orcs. I feel the bodies on the table the orcs have, that's really going to lend them well. You got some orkling units that can go out and hold some of those fringe objectives that people aren't going to focus on, or they can charge up the middle and really tar pit some center objectives. But the key really both ways is going to be not knowing what these objectives are worth until you get to them.
It's huge because it can change the game.
Sorry, a lot, drastically. But I'm going to go with the orcs. I feel like with that heal and the number of bodies they have on the table, they can push forward and get to where they need to be and hold the objectives. Our next matchup, table 19. Very famous person, Rob Van Huff.
Fun enough.
And Ben Bowers. Now this will be a more or less a cross-club rivalry. Ben Bowers is a new member to Laughing Corpse.
He is, so he's got to swing that flag.
He's got to go for it. And of course, Rob, member of Blue City Brawlers, and we have a friendly rivalry between them. So I expect Ben to win. But let's take a look, see what list they've got, and we can give you our opinion.
And one thing to note, Rob also didn't send in a picture, but he's got that massive bully pulpit, so we were a little too afraid to put up a photo that was particularly insulting.
Well, wait a minute, I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention because I go squirrel. So I'm catching up with you. So okay, I'm back on this game. Ben Bowers. He is playing ogres. Okay, we'll start out with 2 hordes of warriors, 2 hordes of siegebreakers, 1 with the healing brew, 2 hordes of boomers, 1 with the blessing of the gods, 1 with the chant of hate, 2 army standards, and 2 goblin bigots. 1 is mounted on a flea bag, or both of them are mounted on a flea bag. Sorry about that. Red Goblin Blaster, underrated unit in my opinion. Giant, 2 giants. So there's Mr. Benz.
And Rob has a dwarf army rather. He's been playing this for a while. He played it at Lone Wolf recently. He's got a troop of berserkers, a ironclad horde with the banner of the Griffin. That's nifty. An Iron Guard regiment with the brew of strength. A troop of rangers, a regiment of shield breakers with the dwarven throwing mastiff and the blessing of the gods. He has a horde of earth elementals with the blood of the old king, a flame belcher, 2 iron belcher organ guns, which can ruin someone's day, an army standard bearer, the loot of insatiable darkness, a stone priest with bane chant, a warsmith to give those weapons elite, Hernius the Hunter, Hernius's Rangers, a regiment of Hernius Rangers, and a steel behemoth.
2 pretty stout, punchy in the face lists. What do you guys think?
I know Rob has played ogres, so I mean he is going to be playing. He's actually going to have insight on this game right here because he knows both sides of the thing. But I'm pulling for Ben because I like his list. I like the boomers with the healing and the chant of hate. 2 army standards, so he's going to have inspiring around the board. Red Goblin Blaster, I like it because most people don't use it It's random. I think Rob is going to know it. So, with 2 giants, I think Rob or Ben's just going to have to push up and just push
Punch
Rob.
the dwarf in the face.
And if that don't work, just reach across the table and hit Rob in the face. So
that always knocks him off his game. He never plays quite right after you give him a good punch.
You don't. He can't take a punch.
So that sounds like you're doing the classic Rob Phaneuf pick of, I like it, I like him better, I'm going to pick Ben. And all of Rob's...
all of his videos, that's how he goes.
Videos, yeah. I alternatively will pick Rob Phaneuf. I think, I don't know, Ben hasn't played a ton. He's still learning a little bit. Rob has some tricks in this list with the Stone Priest and
Rob does have an inside track because he does know both armies. Unfortunately, he doesn't. Unlike me, where I can't stay focused and I just go from here to there.
You can't stay focused on what the objectives in the mission are, let alone what your opponent's doing.
Yeah. So I think Rob will know how to take care of the Red Goblin Blaster. He's got so much firepower.
The firepower on his side is really what's going to give him the edge. Because I'm going to go with Rob, unfortunately, as well on this. I really want to pull for my clubmate. I feel Ben has the edge in the mission, being more mobile, being able to get out there.
If he rolls highs on the tokens
and just
makes Rob
come to him, he could get it. But I think Rob's got the shooting to where he could spend a turn or two just hanging out, taking some ogre units off the table, and then spend the last 4 turns trying to march somewhere. But I think, overall, Rob's got this one. Our next matchup, table 18, classic matchup. Chris Gibney versus Keith Randall. And Chris, as you may know, big fan of dressing up as various food items. Once got his team so drunk they all dressed up as food items. Another person who didn't send us a picture, so we went hunting through the Facebook. And finally, Keith Randall. And if you're wondering, he submitted his own picture. And that is him from his glory days. He was a wrestler in high school, for those of you who didn't know.
It was a weird time.
High school is weird for all of us. I mean, there's a reason we play war games with plastic miniatures. Right?
I don't think he hit puberty yet.
That was later in life.
Yeah, I do believe so.
And by later, I mean still years down the line.
All right, so it would be a much hairier picture if it was taken nowadays. I guess I'll do Chris's list, because I think I have an idea of what my list is. Chris has he's playing his nunnery list.
Chris the Nunnery Gibney.
Chris the Nunnery Gibney. He has a horde of Elohai with the blood of the Old King. A Sisterhood Panther Lancers Regiment with the Brew of Strength. A Sisterhood Panther Chariot Regiment. Naked. A Sisterhood Panther Chariot with the Makwars pushing the Caterpillar Regiment. And then a Sisterhood Panther Chariot Horde with the Brew of Sharpness. That's a lot of attacks. An Abbess on, of all things, a Chariot. I'm sorry, she's just on a Panther. Another Abbess on a Chariot. And Julius, the Dragon of Heaven, who I've never played against, which is great. Samarkris, Mother of Phoenixes, again, I've never seen before, which is also fun. And an LOI with the Banner of the Griffin.
Okay, next is Keith Soft Hands Randall. His first unit is going to be a horde of archers with the heart-seeking chant. Unit of Draken Riders, a horde of Draken Riders with the potion of Caterpillar. War Chariot with a wine of Elvenkind.
Horde of Chariots.
Horde of Chariots. Elven Mage with Bane Chant, Mounted, Blood Boil, and Amulet of Fire, Heart. 2 Kindred Lord on Dragon, one's with the Boots of Levitation, the other one with Chant of Hate. Then his allies, Tribal Hunters, a regiment. 2 of them, both of them swapping throwing weapons for bows. Then he has 2 unit of harpies, or 2 troops of harpies, and then a shaman with blood boil. And there is his list.
I'm going to go ahead and talk first on what I think going on here. I've played Keith a lot, especially his variation of this double dragon list. And it's a tough one.
It's brutal.
It is, and he knows how to play it well. He knows where he's going to go with what things every turn, and doesn't really deviate from that plan much. The chariots I find interesting. Both lists are using chariots. Initially, a lot of people looked at chariot units and thought, what? That's a huge base. It's not worth the points.
You didn't see them at first.
You didn't, and now they're starting to slowly sneak in. People are realizing their utility, and I got to say, Chris got a good matchup on this because he uses chariots, so he knows what they can do, how they play. So he's not going to be caught off guard like some other players would be with this chariot shenanigans. As far as Chris's list, I really like it. You don't see lists like this a lot.
And his army looks great.
It's a great looking army. I think in this mission though, it's going to be tough for me. It's going to be hard for me to call out. I'm going to give it to Keith on a slight edge because he really knows his army. He knows what it can and can't do, and he's going to set himself up to use its strengths to the max. Now I know it's game one, but Gibney might have had a few drinks by the time this game starts, which also could hinder his ability.
I think that's going to be the negative to Chris's game because he's not geared up into drinking yet.
That's right.
He's going to this game cold sober, so he might be at a disadvantage for that. He plays better the more drinks he gets in him.
All right, Chris, did you hear that? Todd's telling you to get up an hour early and get to drinking. Get that in gear.
Yeah.
All right, well, what was your thoughts, Todd? I'm for Keith. Who are you thinking?
I really hate to say this, and everybody knows it, but I'm going to go with Keith.
All right, we'll go to the final vote. Is it going to be a 3-0 for Keith?
Well, I'm going to vote for Chris, only because apparently if you take bows on your tribal hunters, you, quote, don't know what the fuck you're doing.
That's right.
So I made that horrible mistake, and I suspect to pay for it at least the first round.
At least the first round. All right, well, a 1-2, but in Keith's favor. Table 17, we have Jeff Hewitt and Andrew Atkins. Jeff, another Laughing Corpse member, new, out of the Cleveland, Tennessee area. Really great guy. You're going to have fun, whoever plays him this tournament. He loves to talk, go back and forth, joke. Just really jolly kind of guy. Andrew Atkins, don't know much about him. Another one who didn't submit his own photo. And with the name, with the initials AA, what's more appropriate than an AA meeting as your picture? Do you guys know anything about Andrew?
He's out of Arkansas. He's with the Arkansas Warhogs or whatever it is. And I played him at Rumble.
Yeah.
He kicked my face in, so yeah.
He was in NashCon too, and he's got a beautiful ogre, elf sort of mixed army. I don't think he's playing that this year.
No, he's playing her this year.
Yeah. So Jeff's army, Jeff is playing Salamanders. We have a lot of Salamander players at this tournament. Well, 3, but
more than most.
More than most. He has 4 regiments of Salamander primes. The first one has exchanged their shields for 2-handed weapons, so to give themselves more crushing strength. The second one has done the same and has the Pipes of Terror. The third one has the Banner of Griffin but has maintained the shields. And the last one is naked and has also maintained the shields. He then apparently had all the skinks he could possibly need, so he has 5 troops of Gekota warriors, a horde of Gekota warriors with a Hammer of Measured Force, which is a nifty little place to put that, 2 regiments of Gekota Skyriders, a Herald with the Healing Brew, a Herald with Nothing, a Mage Priest with Banechant 2, Heal 3, Blood Boil, and Shroud of the Saint. He has a second Mage Priest with Banechant, Blood Boil, and Inspiring Talisman. And finally he has a Clan Lord on a Fire Drake with Fly and the Blade of the Beast Slayer to give himself Crushing 4.
Okay, Andrew A.A. Atkins. He is playing her this year. He has 2 regiment of Spirit Walkers, 2 hordes of Lycan, 4 troops of Beast Packs, 3 3 stampedes. The first one with the Blessing of Gods, second with Chant of Hate, third one with the Brew of Sharpness, and then the Icon Alpha, which is Andrew himself, because he is going to control this board.
Well, I think I can already tell where Todd might be leaning in this matchup. And I'm going to have to agree with him just off of player ability. Jeff's relatively still new to the game, played a couple one-days with us over at Dicehead. Knows his list, but still getting used to some of the nuances of the game. So I think just on that, Andrew has an edge in this matchup. I find his herd list very interesting. One, he's running regiments of Spirit Walkers. Most people run those strictly as hordes.
Or troops.
Or troops as some good hard chaff. 3 stampedes, always scary. My only concern here is he, one, doesn't have any way to heal. Which
the Lycans do. Well, they're regen.
Well, they have regen.
And nimble.
But he doesn't have inspiring for his stampedes or his beast packs. The Lycan Alpha only inspires Lycans. So that could come back to hurt you. Of course, he does have the manager, and maybe that's what he's planning for.
That's true. You throw it out there and get it.
But this Salamanders list intrigues me a little bit.
My big issue with the Salamander list is the having Blood Boil on your mages. I know Blood Boil is a super effective spell, but in my opinion, you got to have shots. You got to be able to reach out and touch people before you shoot with Blood Boil. Now I get it. He's got a Fire Drake. He's got 16 shots there, and his little mages have, looks like they come...
Fireball 10 each.
They each have Fireball 10.
So the majority of his shots are spells.
Yeah, well, they're low distance, they're breath, so you got to get up right up. You know, your enemy has to be right on top of you, which, you know, if you're going to have Blood Boil, at least in my limited experience with it, you really want them to show up with 6, 7, 8 wounds already.
Yeah, you need bows or artillery, something that can go out, put some wounds early in the game.
Right, and then maybe once they get closer, you're backed up with some more breath weapons.
I mean, if he concentrates all those like on one stampede,
absolutely, you can
stampede,
you can blow something up. But you know, you can only cast Blood Boil or Fireball, so you can only do one or the other on these mages. I almost, considering the way his army's put together, I would almost prefer to see Soul Drain on those guys if they're
getting into combat.
Because why not? You send your little chaffy guys in, get them into combat, and heal your guys up with it.
I think that horde, though, of Gecko Tech Warriors is what's going to trip people up.
Yeah,
it's not something you can send a heavy unit after.
And then again, the mission on this game is going to affect this because the herd is not going to be able just to charge right in. You know, if he charges across,
it's going to be hey, you're going to have to split up this army.
Yeah.
The herd army is going to have to either pick a half the table and try to control it, or spread itself thin. Where the Salamander's army has enough drops.
So many drops.
Has enough drops to just plop stuff down.
You know, he can reveal how much the token's worth. And then, you know, if it's a 1, he can go on. If it's a 3, he can sit on it.
And how useful is a Stampede if it's spending 5 turns just killing 5 troops of Gecko Tech Warriors?
Well, not to mention, or sitting on a token, because
you're going to have to at some point.
Andy only has, 10 drops for a 12 drops for a herd army, and 4 of them will go up in smoke. You know, these packs don't stick around that long.
Yeah, but you know, if he sets it up right and he gets all Stampede, if he gets 2 Stampedes on any one
unit. I'll Stampede all day. I still think Andy's going to pull it out based on player level experience. But
Jeff, we tried, but I think Andy...
He's got to pull some shenanigans.
It's a hysterical matchup because the herd army is so outdropped, which you rarely see. But
it's a punchy herd army.
Oh, I mean, it can stack and go for sure.
But it looks like we got 2 so far for Andy or Andrew.
Yes.
And Todd, that where you're going to?
I believe so. Unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, so far that's 2 Laughing Corpse members that we don't think are going to win their first game. We're starting out strong, guys.
Hey, we're here for the fun.
We do think Keith's going to win his game. But we're 1 and 2. All right, our next matchup, table 16, Devlin Smith versus Steve Malone. I'm pretty sure that's not the Steve Malone who's coming to TNT.
Well, he didn't send in a picture, so I was sitting at the office, not having much to do, and being kind of loopy this week. I went ahead and named him Steve Moses Malone, so I figured picture to match.
There you go. And that's something you guys got to remember. You didn't send us your information. You left it up to us to figure it out for you. And then Devlin Smith, player out of Memphis, really stepped it up here recently on the tournament scene. Really great player. Always gives you good fun games.
And he's showing us the guns.
Showing us the guns.
Showing the guns.
That's some wrestling theme points right there. He's showing off them muscles. And of course, he's with Gibney and Rob, so you can always expect some fun shenanigans.
I can't remember what fruit or meat he is in the...
He's the pizza, ain't he?
Is he the pizza?
Or the hot
We
dog?
could go back to the picture if we needed to.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
He's
a hot dog. All right.
He is a hot dog with
He
mustard.
is a hot dog. All right.
I was wasting time and not opening his list, so let me get it up. Okay, here we go. Devlin is playing his trusty Empire of Dust. He's been doing this for a while. He starts out with a horde of revenants with the Casket of the Damned and the Brew of Strength. 2 regiments of skeleton archers. A troop of mummies with the Casket of the Damned. I guess they can come as troops with Empire of the Dust. I did not know that. A troop of mummies, a second one with Casket of the Damned. Enslaved Guardians, a horde of Enslaved Guardians, Casket of the Damned, Blood of the Old King on them. That's nifty. 2 regiments of Scavengers. A Bone Dragon. 3 Cursed High Priests. 1 with the Shroud of the Saint. 1 with the Banner of the Griffin. And all 3 with Heal 4. Then he has the Idol of Shobik to round it out.
Okay, next, Steve Moses Malone. He's playing the Kin. He has a horde of spearmen with Brew of Strength. He has a horde of crossbowmen with the Heart-Seeking Chant. He has 2 troops of Reaper Guard bearer, 2 troops of Gargoyles, 2 regiments of Dark Knights, 1 with Blessing of the God, other one with Brew of Haste, 2 units of Chariots, 1 with the Wine of Elvenkind, and 2 High Priest. Both of them look like they're mounted. One has the Inspiring Talisman. Then the Army Standard, 2 Army Standard Bearers. And that's it. That's his list.
Again, we're seeing some chariots coming out of the woodwork.
You are. I mean, they're getting popular.
And I think, at least I put them in my army listening to the Countercharge podcast with the Adepticon winner, who referenced the ability to see over units, to kill those pesky Blood Boil mages, to kill those...
Yeah, they're height 3, right? Chariots?
They're height 3.
Yeah, I mean, a height 3, but... So you're still going to get cover in their individuals.
Sure,
See,
but they're only
elves are hitting them on 6s. Everybody else is hitting them on half.
Sure, but they're 9/11, you know, like... You hit them once or twice, you can start rolling to kill them. And then there's also war trombones and those other things that you need to get rid of before you get up close.
But you can keep them safe behind some height 1 chaff. You know, safe from charges while shooting over the chaff.
That's super useful as well. I mean, you're going to take a penalty there, but...
All right, so between the 2 lists, what do you guys think?
I'm thinking... I do like the Kin army. The chariots are...
He's got a lot of shots in that Kin army.
76 shots. That is huge. I think Devlin's only got 20. So...
The thing is, Devlin knows his army. He's done well with it.
He does.
I think, going back to my analysis on Keith, he knows what it can and can't do. He knows how to set it up so he can use its strengths, mitigate its weaknesses. Unfortunately, I don't know Steve that well, so I don't know how well he knows his army. But Twilight Kin are one of those armies people don't get to play. Yeah. So you're not familiar with them.
See, it's hard to choose. So, but Devlin, you know, if he ain't playing Rob, he plays very well.
That's true.
So,
much like me and Keith. He rolls over for Rob, and I roll over for Keith. That's how it's going to work.
That's a club of 2 for you.
Yep. Well, how about this? Going back to the mission, who do you think has it? Who can go out there, control tokens, and hold the points?
To reveal the tokens, the Kin's going to have it because he's done a whole lot faster.
So fast.
So he can run out there, turn the token over. If it's a 1, he can go to the next one. You know, besides he can sit on it, but he can go to the next one.
He can't hold as well. He's incredibly fast. But, you know, the Empire of Dust on some level is just going to keep marching. keep
if
going.
Devlin rolls like 2 3s right off the bat,
He's not going to move and it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of surge in there, and that's where like that blessing of the god or the blood of the old king comes in on those enslaved guardians.
If you ever watch Devlin play, he can work a surge.
Yeah.
I mean, he does it to his advantage. I mean, you got to give him that credit. He knows how to work that.
Only guy I know can get 11-inch surge on 10 dice.
Seen it happen.
All right, so what are your thoughts? Who's going to win it?
Oh, man.
So far, this might be our toughest matchup on
Yeah.
calling a straight winner.
I mean, again, I don't know Steve. And unfortunately, we didn't get an info sheet from him, so we don't know what region of the world he's from.
Man of mystery.
Man of mystery. So
You got to go with what's familiar? Go with Devlin?
Is he a violent person?
I think I like the Twilight Kin list better, but I think if you don't have a lot of experience playing against Shamble, don't have a lot of experience playing against an Empire of Dust or Undead list, with all this speed that might not blow through in one turn, you're just going to get surrounded.
Bogged
down. And if, he's playing a run and gun kind of way, he has a good shot, but I think I'll go with Devlin, just because I don't know anything about Steve. Don't be offended, Steve.
I'm going to have to go with that too. I know Devlin can do what he can and can't do with this list, and just being familiar with him as a player, that's how I've got to give my vote to.
I think I'm going to go with Devlin too, just because I know he can work the surge. He knows... He's got tricks. He's got games. He's got street games. So
And apparently cheats because he can roll 11.
he plays it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So he's taught by the best. So
So, Steve, you're going to be the first upset. You're the first underdog so far. We're 0-3 against you. So let's see what you can do.
All right, table 15. I'm going to take over play-by-play duties for this particular matchup because we have Adam Dukes versus Tim Little Man Smith.
Not my actual wrestling name. Not anymore.
Not your actual wrestling name. Adam was kind enough to send us a photo with a gamer face on, all ready to go. Tim sent a photo, but we made the executive decision to raid his Facebook page because there was a 3-week period where his mom posted all of his baby pictures.
because damn, he can wear them over.
It was my 28th birthday. She loves me.
Right, it's an important date.
And by executive decision, I want it to be known, it was a 3-0 decision to use that picture.
Right, my fiance got involved. Anyway.
It seemed like I was in on that.
Yeah, you're always in on the joke, Tim. It's cool.
I'm not.
So moving right into the lists, Todd has Tim's list.
Okay. He has 3 regiments of tribal hunters. He is swapping the thrown weapons for bows.
Yeah, I still haven't learned from that mistake.
I was confused there. I was like, what is this?
What is this?
Then he's got 2 troops of harpies, 1 thing of guardian brutes with the potion of caterpillar, 2 troops of beast packs, 2 stampedes, one with the blessing of the gods, chant of hate, a chimera, gaping fly, brutox, shaman with heal 5 and the shroud of saints, which I bump it up to 7.
7.
And blood boil. Is that? Oh, you have 2 shaman. So, yeah, pretty stout.
And Adam, the good Dr. Dukes, self-proclaimed nickname, I like it, well done, is playing an undead army. He, just to point out, his tag team is No Living Man Would Take Him, so I appreciate that as well. Adam, well done. His undead army has 2 troops of skeleton archers, 2 legions of zombies, both with undead giant rats. Tim shaking his head. Horde of zombie trolls with Banner of the Griffin, 2 regiments of werewolves, naked, 2 balefire catapults, lots of balefires in this tournament, 1 undead army standard bear with the loot of insatiable darkness, a cursed barrel with blood boil and the wings of honey maze, a vampire on an undead dragon with heal 2, soul drain, and the pipes of terror. A necromancer with weakness, he's loving these new spells, and a necromancer with soul drain.
Not bad. I do want to point out, I love the self-promotion in his picture. His club affiliation, his GUV, it's in his picture. So,
Well done.
+1 there on that sportsman.
We know who Todd's now voting for.
Yep.
Always out for the promotion.
Always.
So, I've always played Tim a lot. He runs around like a crazy person with this herd list. Gets around corners, traps things up really, really well. But I think, Undead is a difficult list for her, just because you hit it and you ain't going anywhere. A Legion of Zombies is one of the few units that theoretically could survive a Stampede attack, because that nerve of 28 they'll just
It's huge. It's a big number.
Huge. And they only got 30 attacks. So, he's fast. He's got some werewolves in there. He's got a little shooting. I like the variations on the spells too. I think it's
different. You don't see weakness that much.
Yeah, a couple soul drains, which I like.
Which is huge against Tim.
Oh yeah, he's not very hitty. Blood boil in there just for on the Wings of Honey Maze guy.
Didn't I hear soul drain too?
Yeah. I don't know, Tim.
It's tough. It's a tough one for me.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't get no.
Undead, double dragons has always been my bane, but undead are right up there
With
on
a
the
dragon.
tough list.
They have a dragon.
And a dragon. I can handle one dragon pretty well, so that doesn't concern me. The two legions of zombies really concern me, especially
It's 2 bricks.
Yeah.
especially for the mission,
Yeah.
because they're big enough where they could go up and sit on a token,
Multiple tokens.
and I can't even get within 3 inches to contest it.
A 2 or a 3 on that token is huge.
Is solid. Now, if they hit a 1, they might take themselves out of the game trying to get to something else. That's really what bothers me. I think the mission, if he can get to some good pointed objectives, he's got me on that. Because, like you said, I just can't push the zombies off the table in one hit. I got to go at least twice.
I think you're going to have to set up if you can get 2 Stampede charge on the Legion,
Well, sure.
maybe 1 in the side, because Tim can move around.
Yeah.
It comes down to him moving around. If he can set up the charges the way he wants, because he does that well.
Sure.
He's got the chaffing thing down.
I think I'm going to end up going with Tim just because I've seen him play a lot, and I don't think Andy has a shot. I think he's got all the tools he needs to win, but I think I'll go with you because you're sitting next to me and I don't want you to hit me.
I think I'm going to go with Tim too, because I played you with Undead last time, but won or draw. Mm-hmm. And you was handling it very well, and I won on a lucky draw. On a lucky roll. So
Turn 7.
yeah. So I'm thinking you do have a chance at this.
By the way, anyone listening, if we play a game, roll that turn 7. I've yet to win on a
That's
turn
your
7.
Achilles heel.
It?
You came in second at a tournament that had no turn 7.
That's what it was, right there.
Just flying high there.
Well, that's 2 for me, and unfortunately, I am that kind of bastard who votes for myself. And I'm going to go for myself.
No explanation.
No explanation.
That's true.
Boom. Our next matchup, table 14, Mike Byram versus Chandler Peterson. Mike, another local guy from the Cleveland area, he won a ticket to TNT, was the best local player at one of their one-day events. So glad he could make it up to join us. Chandler, Laughing Corpse member here in the Nashville area. Obviously,
he's a college in Tennessee now, but
He's a volunteer.
he's a volunteer. I get enough of that back where I'm from.
Yeah.
All right, well, now I think less of Chandler. And Mike, what were you thinking not sending us a picture? All right.
I thought that was Mike's picture.
No, unfortunately, it's not. But I heard he'll do that for you for the right price. Or award.
Or reward. Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute.
There's a good way to win some theme points here.
Go
Mike,
on the closet and dig out
if
some
you're
awards.
listening. So both relatively strong players. Mike's a little more new.
Well, Chandler is actually new. I think he's maybe
He's a
played
long-time fantasy player, but
new to Kings of War.
Kings of War.
All right, so this will be a good intro game for both of them.
and Mike Fire'em Byram. I made that up. That's cool.
And point this out: they're both playing Ratkin.
They're both playing Ratkin.
Oh, they are.
So,
Rat on rat
may-
action.
May determine the best Ratkin in the tournament right up front.
Well, I'm calling it. Ratkin are winning. And if you two draw, I'm going to flip that table.
Awesome. So, Byram has 5 regiments of warriors, a horde of shock troops with the brew of strength, a horde of shock troops with the brew of sharpness, 3 weapons teams with the storm of lead, It has 3 death engines with a vile sorcery update, a warlock with Bane Chant and the inspiring talisman, a warlock with Bane Chant, and a swarm crier. And he's somehow missing 10 points somewhere because that comes to 2140. Because he just didn't need it. He didn't need those extra 10 points.
He's coming in. He's denying people those kill points. Is what it is.
Yeah, he's like, F you. You're not getting all my points.
That's right. Kept 10 in my pocket.
Nice. A lot of shooting.
Okay. Next is Chandler Vermin Lord Peterson. He has 4 hordes of warriors, 1 regiment of shock troops with the fog on it, 1 horde of blight with Chant of Hate, 1 regiment of brutes, 2 weapon teams, 2 artilleries, 2 death engines, 1 war chief with mace of crushing, and a warlock with a heal 3 and bane chant 3 at 2145. What is it with the rat players just trying to not put all the points on the table?
They don't need them. It's a broken army. They don't need them.
Between the two of them, 5 points and 10 points. That's like 50 rats they didn't
Chandler,
bring.
there's a heal spell in there for 5 points. Put that on something.
Would like to point out real quick, we are using the Clash of Kings rules, so those death engines, because of the vile sorcery upgrades, are defense 4, not defense 5.
Oh, on his list. Okay.
On his list. So just want to point that out for everyone. Remember to use the updated rules. Make sure you're playing by them.
Chandler, I taught you well. Don't change your list. It's defense 5.
I'm not sure either of them clicked on the right thing on Easy Army.
Yeah, on Easy Army. But just so people know, we are using the Clash of Kings. So if you saw that and you thought to yourself, wait, those aren't defense 5. We know, they know, we'll tell them.
Stick to your guns, Chandler. Defense 5.
All right, so who's got this? This is going to be an interesting fight.
It's nutty. There's so much fire going back and forth across the table.
It's going to be a firefight table. I mean,
They're
it's
just
going
going
to
to
be...
get 18 inches away from each other and start shooting.
We should make it every time they shoot, they got to go pew, pew.
They
pew,
will.
pew,
Well,
pew.
Chandler will. I don't know.
Well, what's interesting, they both have, a lot of shots. Mike has 61. Chandler has 38. But then Mike, because of the randomness, has an extra 3d6 potentially. And Chandler has an extra 2d6. So, a lot of shooting.
But Chandler has more hordes on the table.
He does.
So his nerve is higher.
That fog on the one horde is kind of funny.
Well, no, it's on a regiment. It's a shock trooper regiment. Yeah, so
that's less useful.
it's less useful, but still it makes it hard to hit 12 attacks. So, I mean,
I think they're just going to both walk up and be 18 inches apart and just shoot at each other and see what happens.
yeah.
What's interesting is these are the only Ratkin players we have.
Right.
And this game could determine who the best Ratkin player is.
I think we'll find out as we go. We're going to have
Several
rat
matchups.
Yeah, rat on rat. Other armies playing the same.
I think I said that 5 minutes ago, but
No, did you? I wasn't paying attention to
not
you.
you, him. I was making fun of Tim.
Oh, okay, yes. Let's make fun of him.
Squirrel!
Squirrel! There it went.
So who's going to win, Mike or Chandler?
I think I'm going to go with Chandler because I remember Chandler when I worked at the game store, him coming in, a little kid. I'm going to go with Chandler.
I'm going to go with Chandler too. I think the hordes, having 4 hordes versus 5 regiments of warriors is going to serve him a bit better, especially in this mission. He can go up, sit on some objectives.
And I'm telling you, Chandler will have a backstory to this whole army. And I think that's going to be his edge. I think it's going to help his rolling, is the backstory, the fluff.
He talks through it, why his units are doing certain things.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Chandler only because he's the 4th in our 4 horsemen, and I'd like him to do well.
That's a greedy point, but
Totally self-centered.
I will point this out though. Mike played this exact mission at the TNT Primer, and he held 4 of the 6 objectives, each of them worth 1 point, while his opponent held 2 worth 6 points. So he knows the pitfalls of this mission, and he's not going to let that come back around to bite him in the butt. That could give him an edge, but it looks like Chandler, we feel, is going to pull this one out at the moment. Table 13,
Oof.
Mr. Sean Williams. That was a picture he provided. And Charlie Ryan, another picture he provided.
It's like champion on champion right there.
Champion on champion. Would like to point out, again, that's a lot of theme points for tournament. We have an award for that. Are you going to be the heel or not?
I mean, it's 2 pictures of the gun shows going on right there.
One seems real, and one seems somehow modified.
Yeah, I don't think Sean Williams has a tattoo. I think
he does. I just don't think it's there.
I think he does. Todd knows he does, and he knows.
And he knows where it's at.
Yeah, I think it's on his lower back.
Yep. Where all good tattoos should be. Of course, Sean Williams, ranking player in the Southeast right now. Second. Well, he's still ranked.
He won last year.
He won last year, top player last year. He's defending his crown. George, if you've been paying attention to the internet's coming hot and heavy after him. So Charlie's got his game put out for him just by who he's playing against.
I think he's up on points just by that promo picture.
Yeah,
Charlie's bringing it.
Charlie is bringing it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
Charlie the Jewel Runner Ryan is actually being described by Todd, so I'm going to stop talking.
no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you
Go for it, Todd.
Now I gotta click it again. Okay, boom. Okay. Charlie the Jewel Runner Ryan. He is playing Kingdoms of Men and with allies, Vanguard allies. Okay. He has a horde of foot guard. He has a horde of heavy pike with a hammer and measured force. He has a troop of militia mob, regiment of bowmen. Okay, no. The bruisers are. How you say it?
Arquebusers.
Arquebusers. He has a horde of those with a jar of
Shooters. Just call them shooters.
Jar of 4 winds. So he's tapping shit across the table.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yep.
Hard, because that seems like they are.
Pearson too?
Yeah.
20 shots, but hitting on 5s.
Yeah. Regiment of Knights with the Brew of Strength. One artillery, siege artillery. General with the boomstick. And General on a winged beast. Wizard. He is mounted. Fireball, blood boil. Then his allies. 2 hordes of dire fang riders. Right there's some beef right there.
There's a lot of beef coming around. And his wizard traded out Fireball for Lightning Bolt. So he's got a lot of Lightning Bolt in this list. The boomstick and Lightning Bolt.
You and your words.
Sean is playing the same thing he's been playing forever, but I can't really complain about that because I have to. Sean Meat Grinder Williams.
And to point out, we've all been part of that meat he's been grinding.
Yes, Sean camps out in my head when we play, so good times. Sean Shenanigans. According to Tim, he's a known cheater, but we'll...
No cheater!
Not really. Maybe a little bit. So he's got 2 hordes of revenants. He's got a regiment of wraiths. He's got a regiment of mummies. A horde of werewolves with the blood of the old king. A horde of wights with the brew of courage. A vampire lord on a horse with the blade of slashing. A vampire on a undead dragon with the healing brew. And just to round it out, Morgoth the Faceless with the Touch of Darkness upgrade, which I believe goes on one of the Revenant units.
It does. If he hasn't changed that from prior lists.
Yeah.
Well, he has. I mean, he's changed items around. I mean,
A couple new units. Dropped a dragon.
Again, I'm not one to complain. Nothing ever dies in Sean's army. Like, I've played it so many times, and like, you kill little things, and nothing ever dies.
But if it does die, and you kill it, and you think you got it,
then he starts paying attention
he pulls
again.
shit out of his ass and just shenanigans shit.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm doing this, Todd, but I'm doing this. I'll move this. Voila, I win the game.
Yeah, or I pulled a draw out of nothing. And
There is a reason he was number 1 last year, you guys.
Yeah.
That is true.
It is true.
And he deserved it. I mean, he earned it. So
Doesn't mean I
The
don't,
thing is,
doesn't mean I like it.
Sean Williams, again, he's another player. He knows what his army can and can't do, and he probably, out of most people, does it the best on mitigating his weaknesses, exploiting his strengths, and he's going to not put himself in situations to get taken advantage of. The Kingdoms of Men army, it's one of the lower fielded armies. A lot of people don't play them, think they're lower ranked in power.
would we call this like the David and Goliath match?
Not quite. I mean, I think the armies, I like the Kingdoms of Men army. I think the Direfang Riders
Add a little punch.
It has a lot of punch.
It's so hard. And I don't think he's gonna. The Kingdoms of Men army, I assume it's a very measured advance. You got your chap there to keep off the big Gribblies, to guard the flanks, and your horde hits his horde, and you see what comes out in the grind. And I think that's. I don't know. I certainly don't play a list like that, so I haven't seen that played against Sean.
Here's the thing: you've got a unit of heavy pike. So if you charge him, you've got phalanx and snare.
Yep.
But he also gave him measured force.
They're elite too.
And they're
elite. And he gave him the hammer measured force. Look at Sean's list. You got Defense 5, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6. So whatever goes after him,
it brings it down.
It's going to hurt him.
Well, then he does have some artillery, and he has the crossbowmen, whatever that is, the bruisers.
Arquebusiers.
Yeah, I mean, so he has some shooting potential there. He has a boomstick, a little damage, but I think the siege artillery and the bruisers are going to do a fair amount. I think
I don't know, in these pillage kind of scenarios where Sean has to get somewhere.
He's got to split up, too.
He does have to split up, but he's such a shenanigan face that I can't not vote for Sean.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know how this vote's going to go.
I bet you don't.
Oh, well, I'm going with Sean.
I'm going to go with the underdog.
Yes!
Charlie.
That's right. Fully support that decision.
As you
Charlie, I'm pulling for you. I want to see. I want Sean to fall. I love you, Sean, but yeah, I like to see this go down.
Charlie, this is your moment to go down in infamy.
Yeah.
Take Sean out round 1 at TNT. You might even make him rage quit.
That's what I was sitting here thinking. If Charlie can make Sean rage quit,
yeah,
that's bonus points.
Yeah. And here's the thing: is you beat him this one time, you'll beat him every time.
You'll
be in his head.
Never play him again.
Just don't go to the bathroom. That's a long time understanding with Sean. You can't go to the bathroom during the game.
Yep.
It happens. Sometimes a bladder,
bring a bottle with you.
or a catheter.
Or a pot.
Or a catheter.
All right. Well, our next matchup, table 12.
Why are they next to each other?
We can't help ourselves, I guess. Yeah. Jeff O'Neill.
If we can't match them together, we're putting them hand to hand where they can hold each other's hand.
Yeah. Versus Chris Goad. For those of you who don't know, Jeff O'Neill and Sean Williams are really close friends. They traveled a lot of the GTs in our region together.
I think Jeff sent us his a rest photo.
Yeah.
His lineup photo.
It's his accounting photo. He gets up every day and looks in the mirror and says, "Let's do this," before he goes to work.
Numbers.
But he never looks like it at the tournament. He looks happy at the tournament.
He does.
I don't know.
Well, that's because he's not at the tournament when that picture was taken. And Chris Goad did not turn in a picture, and Keith loves his rhyming, so you got a picture of a toad. Yeah. Hopefully you don't actually look like a toad.
He does not.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay, first list is Chris the Toad Goad, and he is playing Salamanders. Started out with a horde of primes with Brew of Sharpness. The Ghetto Warriors, he has 2 regiments, one with Healing Brew, Mace of Crushing. And then with the Lancers, he has 2 troops, Vim Bear, and then a horde of Ancients on Rhinosaurs with the Potion of Caterpillar, 2 Fire Drakes. I'm not seeing the fly option. Do they not? Because that is an option, if I believe, right?
Yeah.
No, they have. He gave them wings, the Fire Drakes.
Yeah. He did.
He did. Okay.
Yeah, one has Boots of Levitation.
Well, that's the clan lord. He has 2 clan lords.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have
and 2 clan lords.
Yeah, so he has 2 fire drakes on foot, and he has 2 fire drakes with the clan lord.
Both will fly.
Yes. One with the banner griffin, one with boots. And then the Sky Lord, he has one of those with the diadem of dragonkind.
A lot of breath attacks on that list.
A lot of breath attacks.
And he happens to be running into one of the few people that can outshoot him in Jeff Arrows O'Neill. Jeff has been playing some version of this list, even though it's changed a little bit with the Clash of Kings for a while now. He has a horde of sharp sticks with the hammer measure force, a horde of sharp sticks with fire oil. He has 3 regiments of spitters and 1 horde of spitters. He has 4 Maw Beast packs, which I don't know if he had in the past.
I don't think so.
A troop of Fleabag Riders, 2 regiments of Fleabag Riders, 3 War Trombones, 3 Big Rocks Throwers, a Flaget mounted with the Diadem of Dragonkind, a Flaget with the Kava's Holy Hand Grenade, and then as a kicker, 3 Wizards each with Blood Boil.
That is brutal.
It is brutal. And, Jeff has been playing this crazy Cabo shooter list for a while.
At least since Redstone. Or not Redstone, but Siege.
Siege. And, I've never played him. I've been fortunate enough to avoid him in these tournaments. Todd, you played him once. And I don't know what your theory was.
Avoid. I just flew around,
Hide.
got the draw.
Right, you hide and he's not going to shoot at you, and then
Yeah, I mean, I killed off little stuff here and there, but basically,
yeah. And I think that listed siege was just straight up all shooting all the time.
yeah. I think he's lost about what 30, 35, 40
He
shots.
used to have an casino.
He's at 109 now, so it's not like he's.
He's -2 bolt throwers and then just more shooting. You know what I mean?
But now with Classic Kings pack,
Blood Boil makes up for it.
Blood Boil, you get
Yeah.
close and you're going to shut him down, and his shooters are finally stopping, and then he melts your face.
Yeah. And one thing about Blood Boil, where the artillery hits or don'ts, you only hit a third of the time. Blood Boil, you're hitting half.
And you don't take cover modifier with Blood Boil.
Well, you
don't.
You
Not
don't.
Blood Boil.
Okay.
Alternatively, Toad's list is quick and lots of breath weapons, and you get up there and you melt some of the sharp sticks or the, what are they called? Spitters quickly, so he's not doing damage to you.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting across the field.
He's in your face. And so I have not seen, I know he has played, but I've not seen Jeff play lists like this where they're up in your face, they're up in your business early. I think the Mobbies pack are helpful to sort of keep you back because those things hit pretty hard. Again, I don't know.
Probably the thing is, anytime you come across a goblin list, and Jeff's in particular, so what? You have your 4 combat units charge over and kill 4 units. What'd you kill?
30,000 more units.
Yeah, what'd you kill? 400 points?
Yeah.
Less than 400 points? Just a chaff.
That's 2
more or less.
rounds.
Yeah.
That takes up 2 rounds. That's a third of the game.
Yeah.
Yep. So-
And he's shooting at you every turn
Yeah.
and blood boiling you.
Now you've got the benefit of this mission. Jeff just can't sit there and shoot. He's got to
He's gotta
move
move.
his units.
But now he does have a little mobility in some of the extra units he's added. So
The Fleabag Riders might have been the addition he made to go for missions like this.
Yeah.
I think this one is going to come down to the mission, and I think on the mission for me, Chris has got it. I think he can move around the table, do like Todd said, maybe even hide a little bit, mitigate that shooting, and then later in the game just pop out and take some objective
And
tokens.
breathe like a mofo.
Yep, and breathe on stuff.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Jeff.
Yeah.
I mean, just the amount of shots clanging. I mean, he just once he starts, he goes down the line and you roll that many shots, you're hitting something.
Yeah, well, he's a long time 40K player, so he knows target priority.
Yes.
Like at the back of his hand, too.
So as soon as he hits that double ones, he's moving on. So I'm gonna go with Jeff.
I think that's where I'm at, too. Sorry, Chris.
Well, they're just raining on your parade. Chris proved me right. Win this game. All right, we're up to table 11. We have Taylor Lee versus Chris Bowen. Fortunately, I don't know much about these players. You guys?
Taylor's out of Kentucky, and we've chatted a little bit on Facebook, but...
Well, he was at Manticon. Tim?
Was he at Mamicon?
He sure was.
Guess I didn't have a chance to sit down and talk with him.
No,
there.
you was over fussing at people about being cheaters or something. I don't know, you was toting that FAQ around like it was the Bible, thumping it.
You were?
I carry it around now everywhere I go.
I remember that story.
He's an FAQ thumper.
All right. Well, as we get into the list,
I am, give me a second.
Chris refused to give us a picture or...
So he's now,
picture or nickname, so I just made something up.
yeah. So it's Chris Bowen. Playing Abyssal. He has 2 regiment of flame bearers with Nut Bear, 3 troops of gargoyles, 2 regiments of tortured souls, 1 with Sparkstone, 1 with Brew Sharpness, Abyssal Harbinger, Banner Griffin, Ifrit, Boots of Levitation, the Well of Souls, Archfiend of the Abyss. He has Wings, and Lightning Bolt 5, and Bazoo the Bob.
Basusu.
That is a good list, solid list. I like it.
And Taylor, the Marquis Lee, is showing up with a horde of revenants who are dropping their changing for 2-hand weapons for extra crushing strength, and undead giant rats, and the brew of strength, so they hit really hard. a horde of revenants doing the same exchange with the Helm of the Ram and undead giant rats. He has two troops of wraiths, a Soul Reaver cavalry unit with a dwarven ale, regiment of Soul Reaver cavalry, 3 regiments of Revenant cavalry, naked, a Revenant king who is on a horse with blood boil and the banner of the griffin, a Lich king who is on a horse and heals 6, a necromancer who has Bane Chant on a horse, and then he has another necromancer who is just on a horse. It's a fast undead list.
That is a very fast undead
and hard hitting. He's got 2 big hordes that crushing 2 on one, crushing 1 and thundering on the other.
And
what, 5 combined cavalry unit?
4.
Is it 4? Okay.
And the Revenant Cav being able to be shambled, thunderous, 2. That's an interesting little. He can shamble.
I'd like to point out, no faceless in this list.
Thank you, Jesus. Can we have a tournament that doesn't allow faceless?
No.
I don't think he's worth the points all the time, but that's just me. So what are your thoughts? Who's got this? We've got a list that's marching across the table. It's undead, no shooting, versus a pretty solid abyssal list with 41 shots.
And point of punch.
And punch. So when they get there, they can still hit back.
I don't know.
Let's see. I did like Chris's list. I mean, he has some stuff I think he can handle an undead if he takes it to him first. But the bad thing about undead is the shamble, and you have to finish them off to a man. I mean, because
they keep coming.
They all have life leech. He's got. Did he have heal on the list?
Decent amount of heal on the list.
Yes, I mean, he's got to go in. He's got to pick. Crush 1 unit, set up his charges correctly. This is going to be a tight fight. I do believe. But I'm going to have to pick one. It is basically coming down to a dice roll, but the only thing that's going to sway me is the mustache of Taylor Lee. Check that baby out. I think I'll go with Taylor.
It's a good looking muff.
Hey, sometimes you just got to go with appearance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keith, who do you think?
Ooh. I think. Let me look at this a little closer. I think the Abyssal list is a little glass hammery. There's not a ton in there that can sit on something and hold it. Not that the undead list is, outside of the Revenants, is particularly big and blocky, but I just think, oh man, I think I'm gonna go with the undead list. Shambling scares the crap out of me. I still really don't understand it. And I think that he'll be able to move to counter some of the speed on the Abyssal list, and he'll be able to hold objectives better.
That was sort of my logic. Was I think the undead army, the mission really favors them. They can go out and protect objectives. They don't necessarily need to sit on them early, but they can stay a little bit away, use their better movement to cover them. So when Taylor comes up and tries to get to him, he can then countercharge or even surge into him. And this list doesn't mind splitting up a bit and watching the flanks to come in. So I'm gonna go with undead on this one.
Wow. Not that going bone has a bad list. Just I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, we do play the game because dice. This could be one of those games that come down to how your dice are rolling.
Yep. Halfway through the matchups, let's take a quick intermission, go over some fun facts and some things we want to share. This would be a good opportunity. If you need to go to the bathroom and forgot, you can pause a video on YouTube. Go on and do that.
Or the lobby, obviously. You can go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby.
You guys are
Let's all go to the lobby.
Not what I wanted.
You don't want popcorn and soda?
I didn't want you to sing.
Alright, real quick, you guys, take a moment, look over these wonderful sponsors we have. We have a ton of them. I'm not going to point out any of them in particular because they've all supported this event phenomenally. When you get to the event, your players packs will have discounts, websites, ways to get in touch with these people. We have a ton of prize support from them so you can get your hands on some of their merchandise. And like always, the best way to say thank you to the sponsors is by going to their stores and buying their products.
And they always have like a little note section, tell them where you saw us.
Yeah, tell them TNT. You got their discount code or their website from us. You heard about them from us.
It just helps get them more stuff for next year.
Yep, and it helps other events because if they know the community supporting them, they're going to support the community. And for those who've been asking, it's been all over the internet. Basically, a list breakdown of who's playing right here. Again, Undead's the reigning champ here. They're the biggest and baddest, the most here. Followed by Dwarves. I was kind of surprised by that. And then some people lucked out. They're the only one here. They're going home with an award. Congratulations to the Twilight Kin and various races. All right, now with the bottom half of the tournament, table 10, we have Billy Smith versus Ryan Johnson. Billy, another Blue City brawler out of Memphis. Great looking army, really takes the hobby seriously, and not surprising, his whole club promotes that.
Well, his army, like you said, his army is just wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And Ryan Johnson didn't provide us with a photo. We had to go scavenge Facebook. You pick out which turtle, and that's the one he is. I really don't care at this point.
D for it. Which one is he? 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll D4.
You guys know anything about Ryan Johnson?
I think he's a son of Vulcan.
He is the newest son of Vulcan, so he's fell into a dark crowd.
Yes.
I mean,
Sean Williams, Jeff O'Neill, Nathan Clevenger,
and Justin Riggin.
Justin Riggin when they let him play.
Yeah.
This was a tournament they didn't let him play at.
We refused to let him. I said, no, Justin.
Ouch.
Not in my yard. Get your shit out of my dojo. So he ain't playing in this one.
So starting with Ryan Porta Johnson.
You gotta give nicknames, people.
Gotta give us the nicknames. He is playing elves, which, is fairly popular. He has a unit of horde of kindred archers with the heart-seeking chant, which is the new popular magic item. A regiment of Palace Guard with the warbow of Kava. 2 regiments of forest shamblers. 2 regiments of Dracon Riders. 2 dragon kindred lords naked. A tree hoarder with soul drain and the blade of slashing. And the Green Lady. Huh.
Okay, next is Billy Shooting Blanks Smith. Gotta blame this on Keith.
I didn't come up with that.
Okay, anyway. Sharp Sticks, a horde. Bear. Trolls, he has 2 units. 2 horde units. One with Dwarf and Elf, 1 Brew of Courage. 2 Fleabag Riders, or regiments. Bear. Fleabag Chariots. Popular, chariots are back.
Yeah.
Wine of Elvenkind. And 2 Trombones. King on a chariot. 1 Bigot. 1 Whiz with Blood Boil. Troll Bruiser with the Banner of Griffin. 2 Mincers. 2 Giants. Not a bad list. The Mincers, had never played against them, but looking at their stats here, D6 plus 6. Thunderous Charge 3. So, don't look bad. 2 Giants to boot in there, to get support on the Whiz with Blood Boil. Let's see.
The thing about the Ministers is they're low defense, and they have low nerve. But if they get to you, they'll push through a unit, do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
This is an interesting matchup. The Elves.
Are they getting outshot?
Yes.
Let's see. Billy has 36 shots.
Okay.
And the Elves have 50. So no.
Yeah, but 30 of those shots are the Dragon's Breath on the Dragons.
Well, those are 30 shots, and they're really effective shots.
Elite.
So, yeah. So,
but it's just another deviation of the standard build of Elves, which is 2 dragons, and then build what you want to accomplish around that.
it's interesting. I imagine the Tree Herder's going to go with the 2 regiments of Forest Handlers.
Yeah.
And the Dracon Rider regiments will kind of shepherd the Dragon Kindred Lords around. I'm not sure where the punch comes from, though.
Well, you said the queen, right?
Yeah, nothing will ever die.
Yeah,
nothing will ever die.
You have to put them on a double ones roll and then roll the double ones. Because if you don't,
yeah.
I honestly think he's relying more on that shooting to be his punch. Hit things with archers.
But there's one horde of archers, and that's.
But then you finish things off. You spend 2 turns just putting wounds on various units. They get close enough. Your dragons breathe all over them.
There's no need to go close though.
you got the tree herders in here.
And the shamblers are putting up a buffer. For this mission, I'm going to go back to the mission. It's going to be the goblins. They have the troops and the numbers to just swarm objectives, I think.
Yeah, regiments of Dracon Riders without support freak me out a little bit because it's a lot of points for a 12-14. They don't hit super hard. They hit, don't get me wrong.
Well, trombone hit, just put a few wounds on them. You're going to need a 7 roll to take them out. The regiment, I see, he's going to use them around a flank, try to get flank charges.
Sure, keep dragons with
But
them. Billy can react to that.
He can. He really can. The trombones are really going to take down some of the fires. And,
the two shamblers and the tree herder can be up in your business really early too if you want them to be. I don't know.
I think it's goblins.
And then he still has blood boil on the whiz. If he puts enough wounds, he gets close.
I love rooting for elves, but I don't think I can. I don't love this list. It's not to say it's bad. It's just not something I would be able to.
He's got
effectively play
2 units of trolls with regen there.
Yeah, I gotta assume Ryan's been playing this list against Jeff and Sean and Nathan.
Yeah, he's been put through the ringer. You got to assume that.
Yeah.
So he probably knows what he's doing and what he's trying to accomplish. But on paper, and us sitting around looking at it.
Yeah, I think the Goblins have a better shot.
All right, 2 for goblins. Todd, you're the third.
Sorry, Porta. I wanted to pull for you.
Well, that's 3 for the goblins.
Wait a minute.
No?
I think I'm going to go with the elves just because.
Just because? That's a good enough reason?
No, it ain't. I think Sean and, like we just said, I think Sean, Jeff, Nathan, Justin has put him through the ringer. I think he's going to know his army a little bit better than what we do. And I think I'll go with Ryan.
That is a factor I think we can't take.
No,
I can't take into effect, but it probably could swing him.
I didn't think about it until you said it. So, yeah.
All right, well, 1-2. Table 9, we have Jason Britt versus Dylan Murray.
Neither Jason or Dylan submitted a list, picture, or information sheet, so that led them to being
paired together
against each other.
Just so that way one didn't have the advantage of knowing what the other was bringing.
Well, let's see. I think Britt's going to take it because I like saying Britt.
You like Sam Britt?
Yep.
That's fair.
All right, well, good enough for me.
Works for me too. We're happy you guys are coming. Hopefully you don't drop out at the last minute.
And if you do, we got your money. So
enjoy playing each other.
Yes.
Table 8, Nathan Clevenger versus Clay Brigance. Nathan, where are those pictures at, man?
That was Nathan's picture.
He sent that picture in?
You don't see that? That was his high school picture.
Yeah, that's Nathan.
I only know him later in life, I guess.
I mean, he was voted most likely, to travel.
Most likely to be sort of in a Star Trek movie. I don't know.
Well, I'm just looking at these pictures. I'm gonna throw out there. Todd's probably gonna give Clay the vote because again, he's repping his club in that picture.
He's throwing a gang sign,
showing it up.
Yep. Is that a gang sign or like a hang loose?
We don't know.
Yeah, we're all really
We're
weird.
3 white guys sitting around a laptop talking about war games. But again, a little bit Nathan, strong player out of Alabama, and I think again, like we said on the matchup 1 or 2 ago, they play hard. They put each other through the ringers. They know their lists, polish them off. So I'd be would be unsurprised early on, just calling him an early winner. Don't know much about Clay, so I can't tell you much about him. Could be a dark horse coming in, taking the big belt.
Okay, I got Clay Classius Brigance. He is playing dwarves. Well, let's see. We'll start out here. He has a regiment of berserkers with Brew of Haste, regiment of Iron Guard, horde of Iron Watch rifles with Jar of 4 Winds, He has a horde of shield breakers with the Amulet of Thorns, a horde of Earth Elementals with the Brew of Strength, Berserker Brock Riders Regiment with the Potion of Caterpillar, 2 Organ Guns, a Berserker Lord with the Blade of Beast, mounted. Let's see. He's got Vicious Stone Priest with Bane Chant and Unspeakable Darkness. McGreb's Grimgore Unspeakable Darkness.
Truly unspeakable.
Truly. Warsmith with a Scrying Gem.
Favorite item. Throwing that out there. I love that item.
You don't use it right now.
I don't use it anymore, but I still love it.
King on a Large Beast. Banner Griffin. And there's his list. It is
Pretty solid dwarf list.
It is a lot of defense. 5s, 6s, well, there's some 4s at first, but still, it's a hard list.
So Nathan, El Luchador Gordo, Clevenger, has been playing this Empire Dust Ogre ally list for a while now. He's got 2 hordes of boomers. He's got 3 regiments of mummies, a horde of enslaved guardian archers with the blessing of the gods, 2 regiments of scavengers, a bone giant, the Pharaoh, whose first name I can't pronounce, with Blood Boil and the Wings of Honeymaze, which seems to be the new way you set that guy up. It's certainly useful. Cursed High Priest with Heal, the Banner of the Griffin. He's also a Torch Carrier. Interesting. Or no, that's a separate character. I'm confused. Yeah, Torch Carrier is a separate character. Maybe you just named him. Oh, right. It's another Cursed High Priest, I assume, carrying a torch so you can tell the difference. That one has a Breath Attack and Vicious, Heal 4, and Merlin's Amulet of the Fireheart. So besides confusing me, that's a good list.
Well, 2 lists in a mission where you've got to move out there and take objectives, and you've got dwarves versus undead.
Really slow and really slow. So I played Nathan at the Masters, somewhat annoyingly because it was round 3. We're both in the same region, and he was playing something similar to this. Obviously, it's only 2,000 points, didn't have Blood Boil and all that, and he's not shy about coming across the table with his Empire Dust. So the Bone Dragon rather moves fast. Bone Giant, I guess, moves quickly. Obviously the Pharaoh flies around. His mummies, implacable hordes just coming towards you. So he's not shy about moving.
And when you see him coming across to punch you in the face, it's not something you would not.
Really bad temper. Sorry, Clay. He's got a really bad temper.
Yeah. Don't lose. Just don't show up to this game.
If Clay goes first, I mean he's got shots here.
Lots of shooting.
But if Nathan does go first, he's coming across. But if Clay goes first, he has the shots to put wounds on him. I mean, he has 2 organ guns.
So yeah,
and he can be fast. I mean, the Brock Riders can be fast. Let's see, the Berserker Lord can be fast. The King on a Large Beast. I don't know if you push him out there, but I mean, defense 6. Wow,
yeah.
And the only really good shooting that Nathan has is the Guardian Archers. Now he's got the 2 units of boomers.
They're just don't have a very.
They've got to get there.
Mover shoot. So it's 18-inch range basically.
And like you said, the dwarves have the shooting. You could pick those units out early.
Yeah, they both have fairly high nerve.
Yeah. I'm liking the dwarves in this one for myself. Just looking at the lists on paper and the mission, I think the dwarves, again, like we said before, can be patient, shoot things out, move around just a little bit, and then later in the game, start the big march to go grab objectives. On the other hand, knowing Nathan, knowing how he plays,
He is aggressive.
he's not going to sit down and just let you shoot him all day. He's going to come over there, punch you in the face, and he's a good player. Again, he plays with some of the best players all the time, so he's honed his skills.
And if that roll goes his way to go first, I mean, he's coming over.
He's over there.
He's aggressive. Wow.
I'm still going to go dwarves on this. I think this mission just favors them a little bit better on the paper.
I think I'm going to go with Nathan. Just having played him. I don't know what the experience he has against dwarves, but I think he's going to outmaneuver him, and the shamble helps, and I think there's lots of different fun tools you can play with.
Man, I am just split on this. To me, it comes down to the roll who goes first is who's going to win the game.
Who is more lucky on one roll?
Yeah, it really does.
There's a reason we play dice games, because it does come down to that.
Ken?
He can go over and ask Sean for his dice. Where he's got 1, 1, and then 5, 5, 5, 6, 6.
Yeah.
That would help.
He's a known cheater.
Yeah, known. I think I'm going to go Nathan. I think he's going to roll to go first, and I think he is going to take it.
He's going to roll to go first. Now he wins that roll.
Right.
I think he will roll. I think he will win that roll.
Watch him win and roll to go first, and then not listen to you, and
then
decide to go
jinx him.
second.
And goes second.
And I don't know.
That might be the way to go. If Todd said go first, I'm going second. I'll win this game, and it's on me. And then I'll go up there and just give you a big F you, Todd. But that's who I'm going with.
All right. We're up to table 7. John Corbett versus Andrew Summers. Know both these players. Know Andrew a little bit better. Played him at the Masters. Really great guy. You're going to have a fun time. He's very methodical. He makes sure his units are right where he needs them to be. He measures things twice. You're not going to sneak in on him well, I got you. I'm in range. He's going to make sure you're out or make sure he's in when he needs things to
Check
be done.
out that pick. Good gracious.
It fits his army. It really does.
I think he walks around in that at his house.
Oh, that's him. 100%. And then John Corbett. Haven't had a chance to play, but I know him from the interwebs and some of the other tournaments that we've been to. You guys anything to say about John?
John's from Arkansas. Very good player.
Oh, got an out-of-region guy coming over.
He played Night Stalkers at Siege of Augusta.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
yeah.
Things are clicking for Keith.
Yeah, I mean,
No, he's a good player.
he has changed his list completely. He's. We'll go through that here.
Speaking of, let's take a look.
Andrew, hot and sweaty summer.
You don't give a nickname, you get one.
Yeah. You should have filled out that bio thing there, Andrew. Okay, he's playing Brotherhood. 2 hordes of spearmen. The Swans Vile Rangers. Regiment of Order of the Brotherhood. With Mace of Crushing. Order of Redemption Regiment with the Potion of Caterpillar. Vile, the Mounted Cavalry.
Villain, maybe?
Reconnoiters? It's a troop of them, whatever it is. And they're nimble and thunderous charge. And Order of Forsaken, Brew of Strength. It's a horde. Forsaken Beast, there's 2 of them with Ensnare. Exemplar of the Brotherhood, mounted on a war horse. And Banner Griffin. Exemplar Forsaken. With Healing Brew, but he flies. And then the Exemplar Adjudicant, yep. Mounted, Loot of Insatiable Darkness.
They don't
Damn it, word.
They don't teach French down here in the Tennessee public schools. They're too busy teaching English.
Yes.
I barely learned it. English was not,
That's his first, second, and third language, depending on who he's talking to.
I got hillbilly as my major language. Woods, and then English.
Nice. John Lord Corbett. I don't know if that's a reference to the singer or something else, but I like it. He's coming in hot with some dwarves. And we're starting with a troop of sharpshooters, which are an interesting unit that you don't see very often, with fire oil. 5 more troops of sharpshooters.
Yes.
You don't see him a lot because they're all in his army.
They're all in his army.
He's got every one of them.
A horde of earth elementals with the banner of the Griffin. 2 regiments of Berserker Brock Riders, 1 with the Helm of the Ram, 1 with the Brew of Strength. 3 Jaren Bombards. Cannons. It's appropriate. There's some motorcycles in the background for that. And he's got Brotherhood allies. He's got 2 hordes.
Traitors, bastards.
Traitors, bastards. Of Order of the Forsaken. So little guys flying around.
That's a lot of shots. Holy, 36-inch range. What? Piercing 2?
Piercing 2. Hitting on 5s. No, hitting on 4s.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing to.
30 shots.
Those cannons are. They hit. Again, it comes back to all the artillery, like we said.
Cannons. You got 30 shots from troops.
The sharpshooters. I'm more worried about than the cannons. Cannon hit, do it a lot, but them sharpshooters.
But it's slightly better than going up against most elf units.
But you got 5 different places.
But he can move it around.
He can concentrate. He can, like I need one more win on this unit. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Where the cannon,
later in the game, that is a benefit.
Yeah.
Alternatively, he's got 600 points in shooters.
And they're 9/11s.
Yeah, you can start picking
Defense 5. You get a couple good bow shots on his units back.
How many shots does Andrew have?
They have 5 each. Oh, how many shots does
Andrew have?
10.
Yeah, he's not shooting back. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's not quite the classic Bretonnian dwarf Warhammer Fantasy Battle old age where
The Bretonnians just steamrolled the doors every time.
No. Bretonnians hit dwarves and just stuck and then died. That was my experience. It was always unpleasant. But we're playing a totally different game, obviously. Sorry, Rob. I think I gotta go with the dwarves.
That was my vote.
The sharpshooters serve almost as like an initial chaff, just shooting as long as they can, getting run over by somebody, where the rest of the army then hits you.
Andrew got a lot of defense 5 here, but you take all his shots are piercing 2, and what's the cannon? Piercing 3, maybe. That takes it all down to 2s. Well, so it's 3s because defense is going to be 3s on all his shots.
And I think a weakness here, having played Andrew, is he is so meticulous. He does know his measurements that he can sometimes tilt his hand on what he's trying to set up to do. And if you pay attention to that, you can counter it pretty easy.
Is the sharpshooters reload?
Yeah. So they're not turning to shoot, but he's got enough to where he can cover all the angles.
Yeah. So he doesn't measure random things like you do?
No, he is.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, don't give away all our traits here.
I'm serious.
But that, I think, could be his disadvantage here. He needs to be just guns a-blazing, run over there, punch these dwarves in the face. If he's too cautious, he's going to get shot to pieces.
I mean, he can kind of scream with the Forsaken Beast being height 4.
Maybe.
They're still wounded on 3s.
The one
They're not really expensive to.
Yeah, the mission will help Andrew a lot because the dwarves are super slow. I mean, they have 2 regiments of Brock Riders, but if they get up there by
and he's got 6 units that if they move to go get an objective,
don't do anything.
Aren't shooting. And then he's got 3 cannons, so he really has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units that can go out and get objectives and still be more or less effective. But 2 of them do fly.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm dwarves. We got dwarves, Todd.
I'm gonna go with Brotherhood.
Just to be confirmed.
Just to be that snarky vote.
Just to be the odd man out. I think, like exactly what you're saying, with the speed, Andrew can move around a whole lot more with his stuff. If he gets a good lay on a token, if his position right on the table.
And something I haven't brought up, there's going to be a fair amount of terrain on the tables.
Terrain, and then we still have the manager.
Yeah.
But, I can throw out Forsaken Beast out there, boom, he's inspired.
You can shoot him to pieces, he's blocking you.
Yeah.
So I think if he gets a good table, I could see Andrew pulling out a good solid win, but I think just on paper, it's going to be dwarves. So dwarves, and Brotherhood. Table 6, fan favorite, John Blair versus Austin Carrington. John, if you guys remember, got player's choice at Manacon for his squig-themed goblin army.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. It's a phenomenal army.
It was close on the voting, but John edged it out.
1 vote, I heard.
1 vote.
And I would recommend when you come, check out his army. He doesn't get to make it out to a lot of the GTs or the tournaments, so it's a real treasure when he gets to play. Austin, unfortunately, I don't know much about. You guys?
Austin is a brand new player. He's coming in.
I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, we do not have his army yet, his army list. So John is playing handicapped in this because we're going to tell everybody what John's list is.
But is he that handicapped? A brand new guy doesn't even have an army to play with. So
we don't know. John is a mystery man. John don't know how to prepare for this.
It's the Glendale human being.
So John's going to be on, itching all week.
What's going to happen?
How am I going to play this? How am I going to,
He's an obsessive person. It's going to bother him all week.
He will flip a table.
And John, a member of our 4 Horsemen team and member of Laughing Corpse.
Long time member.
founding member?
Maybe second generation.
No, I think John was there on the founding member. I believe he was.
Oh, I have John's list. My bad. Give me a second. John Blair. John obviously is playing Goblins because he's.
Check out his biopic.
Check out his biopic. He is running with 2 Legions of Rabble, which still blows my mind that they're only 180 points. A horde of Spitters, a horde of Trolls with the Blood of the Old King, a horde of Trolls with the Dwarven Ale, 2 Mob East Pack Troops, 1 Mob East Pack Regiment, 3 War Trombones, 2 Big Rock Throwers, a Flagot on a horse or a flea bag with the Banner of the Griffin, a Flagot with the Loot of Insatiable Darkness, 2 Whizzes, both with Blood Boil, 1 with the Inspiring Talisman, and 2 Giants.
And I will say, I can appreciate John's list for the sole fact that he only takes the Legions because they look better thematically with his army than if he took 3 hordes.
He does.
So a guy who puts the hobby first.
If you get to play John, or if you go look at his army in his Mob Beast pack, my favorite model in it is Cockeyed Carl. He is in one of the ball beasts. He put a cockeye on him. You don't know which way he's looking. Are they going this way? Are they going that way? You don't know.
And when it comes to John, you can pick up any one of his models and be like, what's this guy's story? And he's got it.
Don't touch his models.
Well, don't actually do it, but you could point it out.
Well, he's been working on those things for
forever.
20, 30 years. So
I'm going to vote John because we don't know what Austin's going to... Or not Austin. Is it Austin?
Yeah, it's Austin.
We don't know what Austin's going to play. So we'll go... And it's his first tournament, maybe his first game of Kings of War.
First or second game it will be by then.
First or second.
Yeah.
I mean, even knowing this, how I want to vote this? Draw. John, the Draw Blair Morgan.
Yeah, that's true.
No, not Blair Morgan. It's just John Blair. I have no idea where I was going with
John.
And
my good friend I know nothing about.
He is the king of draws. I've seen him pencil more draws than anybody.
And
I'm going to say he's on draw.
While you will give him the draw, this mission does favor his army. Yeah. So I'm gonna give the win to that. Obviously for a lot of other reasons, but he is favored with the army build for here. All right, we're up to table 5. Lamar Eddings, Sean Merrill. Couldn't be avoided. Laughing Corpse on Laughing Corpse. On the plus side,
it's Lamar Eddings, hazing.
It is.
We're jumping him in.
We're jumping him in versus Sean Merrill, clearly our strongest player. But we'll get a win out of this, and unfortunately a loss. And be careful, kids. Lamar asks you if you want some candy. Always say no.
Just say no.
Never reach into the pocket. Dig deep, little fellow.
And Sean, another guy in the club who doesn't get to make it out to the tournaments.
Hasn't played that many games.
Yep.
So, kind of a plus. Lamar will ease him into
it. Because he is, and the thing here is, this is going to be the friendliest game of the tournament. And probably the fluffiest game between these two.
Yeah.
When they get to the table.
Dwarves and Abyssal Dwarves. It's
kind of like a Civil War thing going.
Yeah, because we've got dwarves on dwarves on evil dwarves.
Yeah. And Lamar submitted his army list. Should have known better than to not put a nickname. He knows us well enough.
Yeah, he knows us.
So we have Lamar Happy Endings Eddings, who's playing dwarves.
Is that a nickname or is that like a name of fact?
Is it a nickname or a life strategy? Anyway, he's got a regiment of Iron Guard, exchanging the shields for two-handed weapons. He's got a regiment of Iron Guard, exchanging the shields for two-handed weapons. He's got a normal regiment of Iron Guard, another normal regiment of Iron Guard. He's got a troop of Brocks with the Brew of Strength, a regiment of Brocks with Mac War's Potion of the Caterpillar, a regiment of Brocks with Wine of the Elvenkind, which I really like, a regiment of Brocks with the Blessing of the Gods. So instead of playing Brocks and Rocks, he's playing Brocks and Iron Guard, apparently. King with the Wings of Honeymaze, a Stone Priest with Bane Champ and Mareb's Grimoire of Unspeakable Darkness, and 2 Greater Earth Elementals.
Okay, Sean Farrell Merrill? He didn't say anything, did he?
Well, we made it up.
Sean, you should have known. Okay. He was playing Abyssal Dwarves. Horde of Black Souls with the rowing mastiffs. Whatever.
Mutated.
There we go. Immortal Guard Regiment. Decimators, 2 troops. 2 troops of slave orcs and 1 horde of slave orcs. 1 troop of gargoyles. 1 regiment of lesser obsidian golems. 1 regiment of slave orc gore riders. 1 troop of abyssal half-breeds. 1 heavy mortar. 1 overmaster. And then a supreme ironcaster on a great wing half-breed with the lightning bolt. And then a greater obsidian golem. 2 of them.
I want to point out, you can tell Sean is new to the army list because he actually has Chaos Dwarves in the army list.
Really?
I think they're all Mantic.
I think they're all Mantic.
Well, I mean, no, they're all Mantic. I'm saying he actually has Abyssal Dwarves. Most traditional
I'm not
armies,
sure on this 100%, but I think he won it at a tournament last year. He won the army for something.
but generally, most people avoid units of Black Souls, Immortal Guards, Decimators, Slave Orcs.
And point this out, Sean, there's 40 points there. He's denying people. He's already sandbagging.
You may table me, but you ain't getting all the points.
You ain't getting them all. So,
There you go.
no.
That's amazing.
And this,
I like the matchup. Regular dwarves versus abyssal dwarves. I really actually just want to see the Earth Elementals fight the greater Obsidian.
Yeah.
You guys, put them face to face and go for it. Let that be on its own, and then forget about the rest of the army.
well, I'm wondering if Sean's going to bring like little stuffed puppies, and when he throws those mastiffs, he just starts throwing them at Lamar.
And people think we're joking about that. We're probably not.
No,
That's actually probably what's going to happen.
It's a 50-50 chance with him.
Especially now that we've said it, he's going to go buy little stuffed animals.
And Lamar might like being pelted with puppies.
He's certainly used to having stuffed animals thrown at him.
It's hard to say.
So what are you guys thinking? Who's going to win this one? So many jokes.
I kind of go with Lamar just because he's a little more up on the game. He's been playing a little more recently. His list is a little more focused.
It's solid. It has a job, and it knows what to do with it.
And Sean plays his list because of what has painted and what he loves and
What he can fluff up, what stories he can say.
And I think they'll have a blast, but I think Lamar will.
I think this will be one of the funner tables if you could just watch a game between these two.
Yeah.
Them talking, playing. You're not going to have a lot of those serious moments where you're contemplating something. It's just going to be, well, here to roll dice, let's roll some dice.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless someone gets hit in the eye with a stuffed toy.
It's all fun and games till stuffed toward the
You
eye.
get hit with a mastiff, little stuffed animal.
And that's what I'm going to agree. I think Lamar's got this one pretty solid because the weaknesses both armies have, they share. The strengths they share. So it's going to come down to player ability. I think Lamar's got it. And I wouldn't be surprised if both of them give each other high sports scores. Again, this is going to be a fun game to play and watch.
I think I'm going to go with Sean. Just because I know Sean.
I'm going to stop voting until you vote because I think you're just picking people to give them a vote.
I like Sean. I've been playing with Sean for a long time in several systems. He's got game.
He can sneak him out.
Game.
I wonder if he's still keeping the grudge book
tricks.
going.
He does normally keep a grudge book. He came in, famously came in last at a Buckeye Battles a number of years ago.
He did. But, only up from there.
Up from there.
Up from there. He's in it to win it. It's a game of heroes, Sean. Come on.
Well, guys, that's all the matchups for TNT. Any final thoughts?
Seems like we might be missing a couple table numbers, but I guess that's all we needed.
I hadn't heard anything other matches.
Yeah.
There's been no discussion of any other.
Nothing on Facebook or anything like that. But
Son of a bitch.
as the promoter of this, I'm just going to make some matches up. Put some people in it that I want to see play.
Put some butts in the seats.
Butts in the seats and let's get
Get her going?
Let's get her going.
All right.
Get her done.
Well, Todd's found some extra players, and starting at our table 4, which thank God was going to be empty. That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm just writing these people in.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell they are, but they're going to play.
I saw their list at other tournaments. They're
Boom.
playing.
They're here. And we do have a treat for you, actually, people. We have a 4 Horsemen on 4 Horsemen challenge.
Now the challenge thing. Let's tell them.
All right.
How we're going to do this year.
Most tournaments, you can issue challenges. You can say, I want to play this guy. We play all the time. He kicks my ass. I'm going to return the favor. Well, that's not wrestling. Wrestling's all about grudges
And history.
and history.
So you got to have a base. You got to have a starting point.
You got to start somewhere. So this year we weren't going to do any challenges, any special matchups like that. We were going to do that next year, and the way that works is you can only grudge match someone you played at the prior year's event.
Anybody play any round, but you have to play them. You can't.
Yep. One of the 6 people you played this year, you can play again next year in the first round if you issue a challenge and they accept. But we do have this wonderful ring that I built for this event.
You built it and did a wonderful job. Holy crap! It was.
Thank you.
People are raving about it.
Thank you. And we needed a main event. And we had a couple players, and we'll get to them later, just run away with the theme of TNT, of wrestling.
They did a beautiful job.
In fact, they ran away with it so much, they kind of pulled their whole teams along with them. So this is where we get to a 4 horsemen on 4 horsemen challenge. The hater's going to hate. And just so you know, David, we gave that to your opponents because your team already had a name. The Rotgut Manglers.
Yep.
And our first matchup with them is on table 4. Robert Brandon, Patrick Justice, Night Stalker on Night Stalker. Never played Patrick personally. I know he's a good player, strong player. Play Robert Brandon quite a lot. And he's done quite well in the scene. He was on the Masters team last year, I believe.
He did quite well.
This is not going to be an easy game for either player, but definitely it's going to be a challenge, and the right man shall win.
And that must have been Robert's high school, or is that when he graduated?
Oh, that's college. That's college right there.
Man, he was looking good.
He has like 12 degrees, so...
Yeah.
We don't know which college graduation that was.
Right.
It was one of them.
Yeah, I don't know why he got rid of the beard and the mustache. I think he can pull it off.
It looks like doctoral robes, so I think it was his doctorate graduation.
So Dr. Brandon. Is that what we're going to start after calling him?
Yep.
Dr. Brandon, Dr. Taka.
All right, and Patrick Justice, his opponent. Another solid player. This is going to be a great matchup.
Okay, Patrick, right hand of doom, Justice. He is playing Abyssals.
No,
Nope.
playing Night Stalkers.
Night Stalkers were the Abyssal
Night Stalkers.
allies.
Ah, okay, I see. So we're doing his allies first. A horde of tortured souls. An Abyssal champion. He is mounted. So now into the Night Stalkers. He has a legion of bloodworms with pipes of terror. A horde of scarecrows with the flying hammer. 2 troops of phantoms. One with the helm of the ram, and then the healing brew. Horde of butchers with fireall. Shadow Hulk. A planar apparition.
More or less.
Okay. Portal of despair.
Which I've never seen before.
No. A horror with Banechant 2 and Unspeakable Darkness. And a Void Lurker with the Onyx Ring. Dark Lord Onyx Ring. And that is his list.
And Patrick has the pleasure and honor of a Night Stalker player playing another Night Stalker player, so Sans...
No surprises on each other's
No
side.
surprises, and Sans manager, there's not a lot of inspiring.
Yeah, they can't suit each other's inspiring.
Well, there might be that Abyssal unit with inspiring. I can't... Does Abyssal have inspiring?
He does. Oh, the Abyssal champion.
That's pretty funny. Robert's list is a regiment of doppelgangers, a legion of scarecrows, a regiment of needleflangs, a regiment of nightmares with blood boil, 2 hordes of fiends with nothing on them, 3 mind screeches, 1 shadow hulk, and 1 void lurker. So short and sweet for Robert.
And we got another matchup here where these are the only 2 Night Stalkers at the tournament.
Right.
And this game could determine which one of them goes home with the coveted Best Army Award.
And they really should blame their 4 horsemen people for making them play.
Yep. And we'll get to who they'll blame here in a little bit. But definitely, this matchup is going to be interesting.
Yes. Not really play that many Night Stalkers.
What's interesting is they're playing Night Stalker on Night Stalker. It's an army list you don't see a lot to begin with. And now they're playing each other, so they know each other's ins and outs.
I think the Portal of Despair is a point sink. That's not necessarily useful.
It's only 80 points. I mean, you're not sinking a whole lot into it.
Sure.
Advanced deployment, height 4,
Yeah.
stealthy,
I don't know.
straight 18. Defense 5. I mean, now,
But he's got a lot more monsters. He's got a couple big monsters, large infantry.
The shooting of Roberts is going to hurt because he's shooting at stealthy things. So he's not going to be able to blow people off the table as much anymore.
My issue is why the Abyssal Allies just don't make sense in my head because the Night Stalkers more or less have similar units to those that they could have taken.
I don't know enough about Night Stalkers.
I do not. I like the Bloodworms. I mean, 23, 26, Pipes of Terror, Life Leech 2.
40 attacks,
Stealthy.
hit on 4s.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing to 40 attacks.
Yeah.
Average out.
20
hits, and then depending on what your defense is, you get anywhere from 7 to 12 wounds, 13 wounds.
Thing is, I played Robert's one of my regular guys I play against. 2-3 times a month. Played different armies. This list he's had trouble sort of honing it in, which I think is going to hold him back because it is a newer version of the list he's tried out. So it'll be his first putting it to the test. Whereas Patrick, this is his list. This is the army he plays, and he plays it consistently and regularly. So I think on that aspect, I'm going to give it to Patrick because again, they're going to share the same weaknesses and strengths. And on the objective, he's got a few more drops and a few more big units to go sit on things.
I think I agree. I think Robert's army relies a little more on those mind screeches blowing things off the table. And again, he's up against a stealthy army. So normally hitting on 4s, they're going to be universally hitting on 5s now. If he moves, they'll be hitting on 6s. Really limits the viability of 690 points of his army. So I think I'll go with Patrick too.
I mean, looking at it, he's got the Abyssals, the Torture Souls fly. I mean, so yeah, he can move around. Defense 6. I think I'm gonna go with Patrick as well.
Unanimous
on Patrick. Well, the haters gonna hate horsemen have 1 vote so far.
There you go.
On to table 3, David Reed versus Brian Luttrell. Know both these players really well. Known David a long time. Runs Redstone Rumble. Always a fun time to hang out with. He is one of the lucky ones because this will be a game he plays sober. He can definitely hit it hard, and then that affects his games on day 2. Brian Luttrell, great guy. He's been playing this list. Gotten to know him on this year's circuit. Playing the Salamanders.
You talk about an up-and-comer, learning, adapting. Holy crap.
And the thing is,
doing a great job.
He pays attention when you play a game against him and you pull out a trick or a move or something that he hasn't come across. He is quick to adapt it to his army, to utilize it, or to know how to counter it. So I wouldn't be surprised if, moving forward, we see him on a future Masters team for the Southeast region. And again, David, another great player. This is going to be a fun game just for both of them because they're both fun.
It's kind of like
fun guys to play.
Old Wiley veteran against the new upcomer.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid example.
I mean, an old wily veteran who hasn't played in a lot in over a year because he got a kiddo.
Well, kids always ruin the fun.
But David, he's Wiley.
He's wily.
He is wily. And we can prove that. That's the picture he submitted.
Yeah.
That is the picture he submitted.
We didn't search that one out.
We tried to actually find a better one, and that's what we got stuck with.
We had to put that R rating on there because of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cleavage, nipples.
1 nipple we could have got away with. 2,
no.
Turn the kids away.
Okay, let's start with Brian, the Luchador Lizard Luttrell. He has 1 regiment of Prime, Salamander Prime, with the Flying Hammer. He has a horde of Prime with the Banner of Griffin. He has a regiment of Ancients, Bear, the Warriors, a horde. Then he has a horde of Fire Elementals with the Sparkstone.
That's neat.
And the Komodo.
Komododon?
And he has 3 of those. A Lycodon, he has 2 of those. A Herald with the Loot of Insatiable Darkness, the Sanibald, whatever. Clan Lord on a Fire Drake, he has 2 of those now. 1 with Fire Oil, both of them winged. And that is it. This is
So many shots.
so many shots, and having to play Brian at other terms. Well, go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Moving on to David's army. He's bringing David. David, mistakes were made. Read, self-appointed title, probably referring to that picture. But moving on. Kings of Men. He's got 2 hordes of pole arms, a regiment of bowmen, 3 regiments of knights, 1 with Macwar's Potion of the Caterpillar, 1 with the Brew of Strength, 1 with the Blood of the Old King. He's got a troop of mounted scouts. He's got 2 siege artilleries. He has a general who's on a mount with Crepo Nom's Scrying Gem of Zelak on a horse as well. Oh, he's got another one, on a horse as well with a boomstick. He has a hero on a Pegasus with the Blade of Slashing, another hero on a Pegasus with the Brew of Haste, a army standard bearer with the Banner of the Griffin, and then a Beast of War with a ballista on it. Wow.
Now, to point out, so while you guys think over who you think is going to win, Brian is playing for the Haters Gonna Hate out of Georgia, and David's playing for the Rot Gut Manglers.
Well, I'll talk about Brian's list. I have played Brian 3 or 4 times in a row at tournaments, and watching his progression, how his list have progressed and his ability play, he is just increasingly getting better and better and better.
And I think that's going to be a strength for him right now. He's gotten to a point now where he knows his army, he knows his moves.
He's playing other armies.
David's a bit rusty. Again, you got the new spry guy versus the old rusty guy. I think that's got to come into play here.
Yeah, with the fire drakes, he's flying around. I'm liking Brian in this match.
I think that's where I'm going to go too. I think there's just a lot of shooting coming from Brian's army. I know David's got a lot of hordes that can take some shooting, but those regiments of knights can get brutalized fairly well with 14-16. Now, I'm not saying David can't pull something out, some shenanigans out. He certainly is more than capable of doing that, but I do know I think he's going to be going back and forth between Huntsville and Nashville every day, so he might be a little tired on top of everything else. So sorry, David, love you, but I got to go with Brian.
Well, that's my vote as well. That brings us 2 votes for the Haters Gonna Hate out of Georgia, and we're getting up to our final 2 tables. Table 2, Shannon Shoemaker versus Brian Tucker, some heavyweights in Kings of War and of the Southeast Circuit.
Well, Shannon's from the Midwest.
Well, he's from the Midwest, but he's well known here.
He is. He is a.
I mean, he came down and played
a lot of
Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of events. Was at the Masters, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Siege of Augusta.
Siege of Augusta. So this is a clash of titans.
Honorary Southeast player.
He is at this point. Of course, Brian with his ever stoic stare and his ever plush beard. Going for Shannon Shoemaker. Both, again, great players, heavyweights on the circuit. This is going to be one of those games that could set the tone for themselves the rest of the event. Let's get into the list.
Okay, we'll start with Brian, the Beard Tucker. He's playing his undead. 2 troops of skeleton warriors, 1 horde of revenants with the Amulet of Thorns, leech life 2, 2 troops of wraiths, 1 regiment of mummies, 1 horde of werewolves with the Brew of Strength, 1 horde of rot wights, and regiment of Revenant Cavalry, and a Revenant King with Blood Boil and Banner of Griffin, Cursed Pharaoh with Wings of Honey Maze, and my favorite, Morgoth the Faceless. And Touch of Darkness, he is giving to...
It doesn't say.
The Revenant.
Don't say on the list.
Probably the Revenants.
We have Shannon Macho Man Shoemaker, who graciously stepped aside to let the
main event,
the mouths of the South.
Yeah, if you've been on Facebook at all on any of the Kings of War pages, you might have recognized Shannon and Seth's early challenge of each other. And again, that wasn't something we were particularly interested in doing this year, but we do have a main event stage we wanted to get a game on, so that sort of just fit the bill. And then, of course, George the Animal O'Connor threw his mouth in the ring, and...
O'Connell?
O'Connell? What did I say?
O'Connor.
Oh, whatever. I like Fast and the Furious. I guess that's where I got it from. Threw his mouth in the ring, and you say Shannon graciously stepped aside. I think George pushed his ass over and took over that matchup. So, Shannon, you're going to be playing Brian Tucker. Let's go over his list.
And he's playing Mongols, which I know some people are concerned can become, might be a hidden danger of allowing historicals. So we'll see how Shannon does.
Well, to give Shannon credit,
He's doing it.
no, he's doing it, but he bowed out.
He did.
Because, I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit more in a second, Seth is leaving that country, so he wanted to give
That country?
Leaving this country.
this country,
For that country.
yeah, you know,
New
so
Zealand.
So he's jumping continents, but he wanted Seth to have the match
Yeah.
that he wanted to play at his last one. So
Right.
you know, here, so
Yeah.
Stand-up guy.
yes,
And then he comes and plays Mongols, which everyone thinks is just going to wreck everybody's
Sure.
face.
I don't know. We'll see. So he's got a general on a horse with the Demon Soul Blade. Which I don't know what that does.
It's like it's like the reroll one hit in combat.
Okay, blade of slashing, cool. He's got a musician on a horse with weighted throwing axes. I assume that's just a warbow cob or something.
Yep, reroll a ranged attack.
Or reroll a wound, makes a crushing maybe? I don't know. Mongol horse archers. One has a massive warhammer. Regiment. Second regiment. And a third regiment. They're all the skirmish guys with vicious range attacks who run around shooting at you. Mongol skirmish lancers. Regiment. One has claymores, one has ambushers, and one has shock troops.
I think ambushers is like a vanguard. You know,
Okay, I buy that. And what is shock troops? Any idea?
Mm-mm.
Good times. Good luck, Ryan. He has 3 Chinese rockets, which... Interesting.
Just blast
Three
D3.
shots, blast D3.
you can get a lot of, but you're still hungry for more. So
Apparently. He has Genghis Khan, an interesting character. And then he's got some huge warriors, a horde that's fleet of foot. I guess they're like a legendary.
Yeah, they come out of the monster section.
Yeah.
Mythical
And he's got a
creatures.
horde of abominations, which has handy veteran, which he did.
Who knows what it does?
Who knows what it does?
Well, a whole lot of who knows what it does versus Brian with a list he's played very well. And people know.
Honestly, some crazy things could happen with the.
but then you throw in the manager. I mean, he's throwing out units that's fast travel. Boom, putting them on. Putting inspiring on
No,
that.
I get you. I think they just. I don't know how it'll work against the undead, but they're skirmishers. They're individual. My understanding is they don't double their attack.
They don't. They count as individuals. Skirmishers gives them the individual.
They don't double their attacks unless he's double or triple charging Brian's units.
He doesn't have the punch.
He's gonna get stuck, and then Brian's gonna stomp on him.
The thing is, it's an interesting way to show undead what Surge is like without Surge.
Well, they get the double and triple attacks though.
Well, they do,
Whereas-
but you can run past a unit and then in your next movement phase,
around and
turn
attack.
and charge.
Yeah, but then you can't really kill it. That's my concern. I don't know. I'm not sold on Mongols. I think Shannon is a really good player and might be seeing something. More than likely is seeing something I'm not seeing. But I think I'm going to go with Brian. He's
A good player. Again, it's another Clash of Titans here.
yeah. I will say Shannon.
It's the known.
Don't let Brian beat you because you're stupid. I do that a lot, and don't do it. And
Yeah. What was that event you did that at?
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I think Brian beat all 3 of us. So
Yeah,
ain't none of us
Yeah.
gonna-
We'll talk about it.
yeah. It's the tournament that no one speaks of.
No.
Yeah, but I was supposed to lose.
Was you? 'Cause
Keith lost started when he was supposed to win.
I was counting on your win.
Yeah, you sucker.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it seems like we're all favoring Brian in this one, more or less, because we know what his army can do, and there's a lot of unknown in Shannon's army. We just can't say.
It's a known unknown and an unknown unknown.
Yep. And that brings us to the main event. George the Animal O'Connell versus Seth Hollywood Cook. And this is, if you've been paying attention, these two guys have really gotten into the theme of TNC.
Above and beyond.
Above and beyond.
What any TO ever wants.
This is what we'd really like all the players to be at. You know, costumes, pictures, challenge videos, you know. That's the whole point. So much so, we even have a special award that these guys might be fighting over. Unless one of you other guys step up your game, you have a whole week to do it. The Heel Award. Didn't talk about that much, but that's whoever embraces the theme of wrestling and TNT the most. Don't hold out. You guys still have plenty of time to overtake these two, but they're definitely the front runners. George, currently ranked number 1 in the Southeast. Trying to take that
for a reason.
Yeah, for a reason. He knows how to play. And Seth, as Todd pointed out, it will be moving to New Zealand here this year. So this could be one of his last few tournaments here in the States. So we're going to send him off proper. Also a good player. He's been up and coming. He's
hitting everything. He's doing a world tour before he goes. I mean, he's went to Lone Wolf.
Hitting all the Southeast, hitting this one, some of the events coming up.
He will be a living legend.
He will be.
He'll be known.
And this by no means is this going to be an easy match for either player.
And this will be the event in the ring.
First round. Round 1.
The match is not always going to be table 1. It's going to be in the ring.
That's true.
But in this case, we're starting it out because of the videos, because of the hype.
Because of the costumes. Look at that thing Seth's wearing.
Look at
Shaved his wife's chihuahua for that mustache.
Whatever he had to do. Above and beyond.
So starting with George the Animal O'Connell. He is mixed it up a little bit. He's no longer just flat out bringing 3 dragons and having fun, even though no one else was. He's got a horde of Kinder Archers with the Heart-Seeking Chant. He's got a Palace Guard Regiment with a Blade of Slashing. He has 2 regiments of Forest Shamblers, 1 with the Brew of Haste. He has a Dragon's Breath. He has an Army Standard Bearer mounted on a horse with a Diadem of Dragonkind. He has an Elven Mage mounted on a horse with Blood Boil. He has 2 dragons, 1 with Boots of Levitation and 1 with the Wine of Elvenkind, which is an interesting choice. And he has 2 hordes of Boomers as Ogre allies.
Pretty solid list.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so now Seth Hollywood Cook. We will start out. He has 2 hordes of Great Axe. 1 with Mace of Crushing, 1 with Healing Brew. 1 horde of Orklings, the Scrying Gem. 2 hordes of Trolls, Bear. Regiment of Gore Riders, Bear. Fight Wagons with a Brew of Courage. And 1 Flaggard, Banner of Griffin, Mounted. 2 God Speakers, 1 with Boomstick and 1 not. But both of them have Heal 2, 1 has Bane Chant 2. Then Gakamak, he is a beat stick on his own. And then 2 War Drums. And then that will be Mr. Hollywood's list.
Interesting build on Seth's side. He's got a lot of, when I was with the earlier Orc player, a lot of buffs to his nerve. So your calculations could be thrown off.
Does War Drums stack? Is it just...
Yeah, stacked with rallying.
I mean, does 2 War Drums give you 2?
No. You can only do 1 War Drum.
But you spread it out.
Spread it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have your banner in the middle with War Drums either side. You got a nice bubble of extra nerve.
Yeah.
You got Gakamak, very inspiring.
Yeah.
Hitting on 2.
Yeah, Gakamak's rough. But
Crushing 3, Fury.
so I don't see, depending on where things lay out with scenario and where the tokens are and what they're worth, as fast as George is, he has no incentive to engage with Seth. There's no reason to. Sit back and he'll breath weapon him to death. If he gets close,
Hop around.
That 1 Wine of Elvenkind guy, fine, charge me with whatever. I will then go around you.
Still run away from you. You get that lucky chaff unit put a wound on a dragon, you're so happy.
Wanders around you.
Him, he's still just...
Yeah, can't fly over you, but he can corkscrew the crap out of you.
Yeah, because you can see over everything.
Unless it's high forward. So if you're going to hit him with something high forward.
I mean, he has the wagons, but they don't...
They're high
But again, he's got he's got to hit things.
Yeah.
Now, George doesn't have a lot of mobility with the archers, the guard, the shamblers, but he doesn't need to.
His shamblers, in the
Vanguard.
past, he's used them as Vanguard, but he uses them as a 125-point unit that just sits on. That those are units he leaves behind to sit on.
The objectives he puts near his
Any Vanguard out there, he can see what the token is before the game starts.
Yeah.
If he gets placed close enough, he can Vanguard up, boom. So if it's a 1, he knows if he can abandon it, or if that's what he's got to concentrate on.
Yeah. I'm pulling for Seth. I'll admit it, but I think George is going to take it.
Yeah. Sadly, I think that's the case. Well, I'm voting for Seth. He put a lot of effort into his videos, his costume, the theme.
He hyped the shit out of it.
But George did as well. But George does have the walk to back up the talk.
Just like George's animal, George is crazy, and he's got one hard list. Seth's going to have to eat his vitamins,
Yeah.
say his prayers, and roll mighty
some
hard.
damn good dice.
Yes, he must.
So we're all pulling. It seems like we're all pulling for Seth to win because that'd be a nice send-off for him. But on paper and the mission,
And the experience and the players.
yep, George has got it. Well, that brings our final tally of 3 wins for the haters gonna hate, and 1 win for the Rock Gun Manglers. So we'll have to see how accurate we were on that. But that is the end of this video and all of our matchups. So we look forward to seeing everyone at the tournament. We're a little under a week away from the event. Please remember, there's always plenty of space for more people to come. You got a friend or someone who wants to sign up, or you're someone who's been lurking and listening to this video and you want to come, we're more than happy to have you. Get in touch with us at TNT Gaming Convention on Facebook, or contact any one of the local players. They can get you in touch with us. Always looking for more people. All right, any final thoughts?
I'm looking forward to running the gauntlet and seeing what happens. Should be a fun tournament.
Yeah.
I really appreciate everybody's help, Seth, Shannon, and George, for what they've done with the hyping of the videos. And you with the ring, Tim. I appreciate all that. Keith putting the video together. I want to thank you all. We'll see everybody in a week.
See you guys then.